Today, I'd like to introduce you to this super hilarious and captivating story. The story begins with a high-rise building. Its full name is Than Son Mental Hospital. What the heck with letters that big? There's no way to mistake it. Let's go inside for a tour to Ward 666. In the room, a person is lying on a hospital bed, their body wrapped in coils of wire. His roommate holds two ends of an electrical wire and says, "I'm starting. Do you have any objections?" "Go ahead. I believe it will be just like what's written in the books." He thinks the electric current will make his body stronger from the inside. "Don't you guys try this at home? Your mom would be sad if she knew." The roommate proceeds as requested, plugging the wire wrapped around the man into an electrical socket. He also wants to verify the truth to witness a miracle happen. Attention. Only people with mental illness would follow this. You are a normal person. The 220 V high-voltage current makes his body jolt and smoke fills the room. The alarm rings throughout the hospital and everyone scrambles carrying fire extinguishers. The two patients, one old and one young from Ward 66, are causing trouble again. Quickly, an ambulance clears the way to the room of these two idiots, and this is the result: our main character got electrocuted. His hair is a mess, like a crow's nest. He's foaming at the mouth, breathing with difficulty, inhaling a lot and exhaling little. His parents wouldn't recognize him, and his roommate refuses to stay in the room, insisting on going along to see what's happening. Looking inside, seeing our main character is still the same. "I have to record the data, get out of my way, move." The doctor, at a loss for words, has to let him go, conveniently taking him to the hospital for a checkup as well. So he gets to go along in the car. The old hospital director rambles about a mental patient being an astronomer, then reconsiders. Actually, the Earth is square. Everyone outside says it's round. They are the real mental patients who need treatment. Another man is a professor of medicine. "I have found a way for men to get pregnant with each other. Worship me." After reading this part, I'm also speechless. There's also an inventor fortune teller. "According to my calculations, today is the apocalypse, but don't be afraid, everyone. I have found the safest shelter. When no one is around, I will secretly take everyone away." The director of Than Son Hospital, Ren, says these are all hobbies worthy of respect. Except for these two troublemakers, one old and one young in Ward 666. Every time they have an episode, it's a terror for the entire staff, the board of directors of Than Son Mental Hospital. The scene shifts to Linfan's hospital room. After being electrocuted and waking up, he's completely unharmed. He feels very strong, just like in the books. All his acupoints are completely open, and he can even see the end of the universe. Hearing this, Lao Jiang says, "The end of the universe is because I secretly stuck this needle in." An acupuncture needle is stuck in Linfan's head. Linfan retorts, "It's those blue circles that I don't know what they are." He says there's a voice in his head saying, "Welcome, host, to the Tao domain, activating the system like some paranoid delusion." Damn, these two grandpas are normal. Rewinding time to when Linfan was unconscious that morning on Mount Tai, a horde of wild beasts runs towards a river bend. A group of hikers, the television reports. A very strong earthquake occurred at Mount Tai. In addition, a swarm of level 7 demons appeared. Many civilians who were hiking suffered casualties. The government has dispatched powerful experts to suppress them, along with a call for all citizens in the city to ensure their own safety. Do not go on trips or picnics at this time. While Linfan was unconscious and being operated on by doctors, the strongest expert system found a suitable host. Preparing for integration, it detects that the host's mind has issues. The system is conducting a detailed examination. 3 minutes before the surgery, the doctor says, "It's this young man again." "Why is it so serious this time?" the nurse explains. The patient wrapped the copper core of an electrical wire around his body and plugged it into a power source, resulting in electrical burns. Level 2 burns blood pressure is stable, but the heart rate is far above the normal standard. 59 minutes preparing level 7 anesthesia. The doctor prepares to insert a breathing tube into Linfan's mouth, but Linfan tells the doctor he's very alert and handsome. "These charred pieces of flesh on my body are just impurities I've expelled after stepping onto the path of cultivation. You can just cut them off, no need to worry about me." Hearing these words, the doctor just wants to punch him a few times. "You got burned because you were playing stupidly." Linfan requests that the doctors not use anesthesia. "I must use physical pain to train my willpower. My willpower is so strong mortals like you can't even imagine it." He even threatens the doctors. that if they insist on using anesthesia and obstruct his willpower cultivation, he won't pay the hospital fees. Damn, a mental patient like you has money. The man professionally fits the anesthesia mask. Even if you use anesthesia with my strength and willpower, I will resist the numbness. Beep beep. It's unknown how strong Linfan's willpower is, but he gradually falls asleep. A memory of Linfan at 10 years old. Linfan's mother is startled. Fan, what on earth are you doing? Linfan innocently says, "Don't be scared, Mom. I'm practicing the iron head technique." Unfortunately, before the iron head technique was mastered, he almost joined his ancestors. At 11, Linfan plans to use a welding machine to roast sweet potatoes. His mother can only scream, Fan, put that down right now. Linfan calmly says, "Mom, I heard the evil warding sword manual is the strongest, so I want to destroy this unnecessary potato." Luckily, his mother discovered it in time, or the Lin family line would have gone extinct. After that day, little Fan was taken to the mental hospital for an evaluation. His mother is reading the evaluation results. Linfan innocently says, "Mom, I want to open 2 acupoints in my dantian. Can you throw me down from the 5th floor?" Living up to everyone's suspicions, Linfan is certified with level 5 mental illness. He poses no danger to society, but he might perform dangerous, self-destructive acts. Back to reality in ward number 3, bed 3 and 4, Lao Zhang is eating a banana and praising how delicious it is. After Linfan wakes up, he claims to have a feeling of breakthrough. He wants Lao Zhang to stick a few more needles in him. Lao Zhang immediately agrees, saying it's just a small matter. "I've recently researched a new set of acupuncture techniques based on your body data." Linfan asks, "Really, what level earth circulation technique?" "No. This time it's an upgraded version called the Milky Way circulation technique." After Lao Zhang applies the acupuncture, making Linfan's hands look like a porcupine's quills, he asks, "Fellow Taoist, do you feel okay?" I hear a voice talking in my head again. What is it saying? Is it praising my new wonderful acupuncture technique? As Lao Zhang waits expectantly before Linfan can answer, his body sinks into a coma again. The emergency room is in chaos once more. The doctors find Linfan's heart rate is dropping very fast, his arm full of acupuncture needles. "We must hurry and perform surgery immediately. Quick, call the department head." While Linfan is unconscious and being treated by doctors, the system successfully integrates, and he receives a top-tier cultivation technique called Heavenly Body 100 Refinements. After undergoing surgery, he's tired, sleepy, and so hungry. Our doctor is admiring the lunchbox in his hand, a meal cooked by his wife, when a nurse runs in to inform him that the mental patient has just harmed himself again, making him extremely angry. Is he crazy? Damn it. He just had surgery. That's right, director, he has nephritis, and our hospital doesn't specialize in that area. Back at Tansan Hospital, a staff member is knocking on a door. "Director, the owner of White Crane Cemetery asked me to ask you if you really want to buy a burial plot this time. Cancel it for me." Huadian Hospital just called to report that Linfan is out of mortal danger. He also said that if we cancel again from now on, every time we want to buy a burial plot, we have to bring the body to him ourselves. Geez, I've only canceled 80 times. Hot-tempered like ice cream, old Bai is old, but his temper is still like a child's. While sitting leisurely drinking tea, the phone on the desk rings. The person on the other end is getting angry because no one has picked up. I worked so hard to save that lunatic from danger, and he goes and cripples himself again. "So it's the vice director of the Hospital of the Two Geniuses. Is your Thansun mental asylum messing with me?" The director quickly tells the other guy to wait, not to report back to the cemetery just yet. The young man is damn speechless. He has to be brought to the emergency room again. "What I understand my ass. Damn it, it's only been a few hours. You just wait. After I finish treating them, I will personally drive the ambulance and return these 2 ancestors to the mental hospital." "You want me to hospitalize those 2 madmen? Are you crazy? My other patients are feeling insecure. If you insist on hospitalization, I'll immediately have the on-duty surgeon make a few basic incisions, and you can have a cripple back." Wow. If that's the case, what could be better? This is just a fictional comic. Doctors in real life are very friendly, dedicated, and do their best for patients. They would never think of making a few basic incisions, as the vice director said. That's completely insane. What's more, real-life doctors love their profession. Love animals naturally have a sense of protecting society and would never smash things or the operating room. At this moment, Lao Jiang is thinking, the Milky Way circulation technique shouldn't have any problems. Where did it go wrong? Linfan still hears the voice in his head. It seems that person's mind isn't normal. It's likely so. Or maybe I should test it a little. Seeing Lao Jiang take out 3 silver needles, he stabs them into his own hand. Is anyone there? Quick, save him! He foams at the mouth and faints. When I was invited to join the hospital, Director Lei said the hospital would let me experience high-risk surgeries to accumulate professional experience for myself. At that time, I didn't understand how he knew there would be so many high-risk surgeries. When signing the contract, I had contact with this young man, a total of 48 times. Each time he was half a step away from his coffin. I've finally achieved enlightenment, boo-hoo. 2 sympathetic nurses run over to wipe the doctor's sweat and tears while he confides. While Linfan is unconscious, the system chimes in again. Host has completed 1 session of self-training. Can open a dimensional rift and receive 1 physical enhancement. Open or not. Considering the host is unconscious and lacks judgment and trust in the system has processed it, automatically choosing the most optimal method for the host. Selecting a package for the host. Opening dimensional rift. Countdown begins. Physical enhancement in progress, 36 hours remaining. This is the 5:00 p.m. news. Xiao Mantu will continue reporting on the event at Mount Tai. The nation's powerful experts have successfully suppressed the level 7 demonic beast, but a large number of monsters still escaped. Currently relevant forces are conducting a sweep. The vice director is waiting outside the ambulance. Why isn't he out yet? The surgery ended successfully. Our Linfan is being wheeled out. The vice director yells, "Quick, get him onto the ambulance." The driver's voice rises. "Vice director, how can I let you drive? Please leave this boring task to me. Let go today. Even if the Buddha himself came, he couldn't stop me from driving. I want to personally drive and see off these 2 vandals, return them to the mental hospital." Just then the nurse runs out to announce there's still another patient who needs to be taken to the mental hospital. The vice director sticks his head out the door and says, "What did you just say? Say it again." That person is Dr. Wang, the one who successfully operated on this young man. After the surgery ended, the doctor asked me to give this to you. The vice director's eyes widen as he looks at what the nurse handed him, a surgical mask written on with blood. I resign. The old director is clasping his hands in prayer. Your humble servant. He Ren begs the handsome heavens, please don't let those 2 plagues return to the hospital. But fate and the heavens are unreliable. Just as he mentioned it, the 2 plagues were returned by ambulance right at the gate. The director has to resort to psychological tactics, begging old Li. What you're doing seems a bit too much, don't you think? Returning a patient right after surgery, his stitches might even pop open. For better or worse, we are brothers. You should give me some face. Can you let those 2 madmen stay at the hospital for treatment a while longer? Hearing this, old Li immediately drops to his knees, to everyone's astonishment. Ah, boo-hoo, we are brothers after all. Please give our hospital a way to live big, bro. These 2 ancestors have driven our best surgeon insane. The old director doesn't know how to respond because this dialogue isn't in the script he imagined. Wow, great big brother, since you're not saying anything, I'll take that as a yes. Then he quickly scurries into the car and drives straight off in such a hurry that he generously donates both stretchers to the old director. The director stands there dumbfounded as he receives the 2 little ancestors who are accepting their fate. He asks Linfan, "How are you feeling?" Linfan replies, "I am okay, but the nurses and orderlies do not feel okay at all." Lao Zhang sends a message, "Tell the director I also feel very okay." "Then that's good. Pull them into the room. Remember to reinforce the window with iron bars." Night falls in the familiar Ward 666. Lao Chang emerges from his bandages like a colorful pupa breaking out of its cocoon. "Linfan, what are you doing?" "Help me. I can't move." Linfan speaks up, "Be quiet, I'm cultivating." The talking psycho in my head is teaching me how to use the Heavenly Chase 100 Refinements technique. It also said something about completing the physical enhancement just now. I feel a very pleasant warm current flowing through my body. Ah, so we succeeded. Yeah, the Milky Way circulation technique was a success. The electrocution cultivation technique was also a success. The 2 are delighted. Tomorrow let's try the cultivation method of hitting our chests with a sledgehammer. Agreed. The old director and the staff are standing outside eavesdropping. Thank God this time they're not screaming or causing trouble. The 2 sweaty-assed staff members reply, "Yes, director, But the two patients are actually thinking about their plan to hit their chests with a sledgehammer. But there's no need to tell the director. Where would they find a sledgehammer in the hospital anyway? Then that's good. Looks like we can have some peace for a while. Peace impossible. The rest of your life will not be peaceful, director. One with a short-circuited brain, plus one with invincible strength equals your life is screwed, director. The city at night. In a deserted alley, a girl is walking alone, engrossed in texting on her phone. She suddenly realizes something terrifying is approaching, making her panic. A scream rings out. All that's left is the phone and drops of blood splattered on the ground. A new day begins. Lao Jiang is still snoring loudly. Linfan wakes up and the bandages wrapped around him suddenly tear apart, revealing a perfectly muscular body that would make any woman's ovaries explode. Linfan goes to wake up Lao Jiang to rescue him, but he forgets that he's completely exposed. Lao Jiang asks, "Where are your underpants?" "I don't know, they somehow got torn." Lao Jiang can't help himself and wants to touch Linfan's firm abs. Lao Jiang pokes his stomach, so hard not soft at all. Linfan says, "I feel this is one of the results of my hard work cultivating the system. Feeling wronged, you worked hard my ass. I was the one who worked hard. I did everything from start to finish." Great. Then let's continue cultivating the technique, hitting our chests with a sledgehammer. Okay, man. In the quiet hospital hallway, a guy is sitting and fixing the electricity. Suddenly he feels a shiver. What the heck was that? I heard 2 people were raped to death in this hospital. Night after night, their vengeful spirits still wander and cry. Could it be? Boo-hoo. Lao Jiang approaches him from behind. Scared the soul out of me, but my soul is still intact. Calm down, it's not a ghost, it's a person. But why does he look like a pervert? To enlighten you, the danger levels in Than Son Mental Asylum, ranked from highest to lowest, are the patients of Ward 666, then the powerful experts from the special sector, and then evil creatures of different classes. Back to the present, Lao Jiang is greeting the electrician, "Hello, baby." The electrician trembles and greets back, "Have you had breakfast, fellow Taoist?" while glancing at Linfan. After a professional move, Linfan has chosen a hammer. The 2 friends exchange pleasantries and then disappear. Damn it, working here is really dangerous. If it weren't for the high salary, I definitely wouldn't work here. Suddenly, while rechecking his tools, the electrician realizes he's missing a hammer. At the same time, he hears a strange noise. What's that sound? Curiosity is human nature. He quickly goes to the source of the sound, peeks inside, and discovers Lao Jiang holding a hammer and striking Linfan forcefully. He silently curses. Damn it. He sees Lao Jiang turn to look at him and panics, running and screaming. A mental patient is killing someone. Please select the part you want to enhance: A arms, B legs, C head, D genitals. This scamming system, having checked and found the host's mind to be abnormal, automatically chose the best answer for the host, selecting A arms. At this point, I have to ask, if it were you, which option would you choose? As for me, I'd choose D. Hey. Everyone runs over and drags him back to that room to see what happened. I'm not going in. I'm not going in. There's a psycho in there, a murderer in there. Let me go. He's hitting people with a hammer. Blood is flying everywhere. When everyone arrives, they see the 2 troublemakers sitting leisurely drinking soft drinks. The scene is as peaceful as if no separation had ever occurred. The electrician is bewildered. Where's the blood? Why is there no blood on the floor? There's only a small puddle of some white liquid. It turns out to be milk spilled by the 2 young men. Linfan says, "I'm drinking Coke." Lao Jiang says, "I'm drinking Pepsi." Damn, what a magic trick. It's clearly milk. The old director can only remain silent. The old director comforts the electrician, saying, "You see, there's no murder and no blood. You were just seeing things. Nothing scary happened." The electrician is too scared. "Director, I'm quitting this electrician job. I just want my missing hammer back and I'll leave immediately. If your asylum has a power outage, please don't call me. Even if you pay more, I won't come, unless you pay double." Hearing this, he demands the 2 in the room to return the man's belongings. Our 2 young men wave their hands in denial. Who knows anything? Hearing this, the old director points to the bulge in Linfan's pants and asks, "What is it?" In the room, a dozen pairs of eyes are fixed on that mysterious bulge. Linfan reaches into his pants, rummages around, and pulls out the hammer. "Surprise, old lady. How did it get in here?" The old director holds out his hand for the hammer. Linfan tells him to come and get it, but the old director says, No, I refuse. You throw it on the floor. After a back and forth between the two sides with neither willing to go get it, the situation becomes a stalemate. The old director thinks to himself, damn it, today is February 29th. Tomorrow is my birthday. Don't let my birthday turn into my death anniversary, boo-hoo. The old man musters all his courage. All right, I'm coming to get it. The nurses and assistants silently admire the director's bravery. The old director's heart pounds. He decides to walk over to Linfan to take back the hammer. Damn, it's a success. The old director receives the hammer amidst everyone's cheers and applause. Oh my God, the director is amazing. It's a miracle the director is still alive. Hooray! He returns the hammer to the electrician and says, it's just a small matter, no need to be so scared. Here you go, put it away carefully. But wait, frozen for about 2 seconds, the director. Our old director's hands are trembling slightly and he's sweating profusely. The scene shifts to outside the hospital, then back inside. So surreal. This is the evening news. Because the escaped evil creatures pose a threat to society, relevant departments are urgently hunting and eliminating them. Currently, the 4 Great Academies group has also sent people to help. An old man speaks up. Hua, this is my wife. The bald old man next to him speaks up. This is clearly my beloved daughter. I personally cleaned her poop and pee since she was a baby. How could I be mistaken? The old man is startled. Wow, so you're my father-in-law. The 2 men rush to hug each other and burst into tears. The father-in-law and son-in-law, amidst the silence of 2 orderlies. Lao Zhang points to the TV screen and asks Linfan, do you know this girl? Linfan innocently replies, I know she's my girlfriend. Lao Zhang looks skeptical but still says, I believe you. Suddenly, the TV announces again, ladies and gentlemen, I've just received urgent news. Authorities have just discovered traces of the evil creature on Thansun Road. Duyan High City advises everyone to be vigilant. If you spot anything unusual, please contact the Ministry of Public Security at 113 immediately. Scene change results of the Level 2 strategy test. Ha 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 ha, how about it? Now you can go hunt that Level 2 dog demon with me, right? Could it be that the 4 of us Level 2 strategists can't even defeat one Level 2 evil creature together? Student Xiang Ying, age 16, specialty in medical combat arts, discovered talent at the Medical Great Academy. One person speaks up, let's go. Of course we're going. We'll sneak away from our homeroom teacher, then find that dog demon, kill it, and bring it back to show them what's what. Xiang Ying excitedly says, right. As outstanding graduates of the 4 Great Academies, we certainly won't let the special forces of Duyan High City look down on us. They see the news report on TV. Today is Saturday, February 29th. Lao Zhang looks at his watch with suspicion about the date. Why is it February 29th, isn't today, March 7th? Linfan then says, maybe your watch is broken, senior. Lao Zhang retorts, impossible. This is an Apple Watch VIP Pro. I just spent several million to buy it. Suddenly, a rather dangerous-looking 4-eyed guy appears from behind saying, let me see. The 4-eyed guy says it's fine, just needs a little adjustment. Rest assured, sir, we take responsibility for lifetime warranty for our customers. The 4-eyed guy licks his finger while saying, sir, spending several million makes you a VIP customer. Whatever happens, I'll fix it for you for free. Then the 4-eyed guy takes the tip of a pen and scribbles a few times on Lao Zhang's arm. After some erasing and rewriting, it's done, sir. Please check. As expected of a brand worth millions, the watch has been updated. But there's something wrong with the date. Back in the room, Lao Zhang's brain suddenly clicks. Realizing he's been tricked, he starts to cry. Linfan sees this, brings him a soft drink, and comforts him. Drink some Coke to feel better. Thank you, Linfan, you're so kind. Lao Zhang chugs half the bottle in one go and says, this cold water is delicious. Linfan then says, the voice in my head is starting to talk again. Lao Zhang turns around in surprise and asks, what's it saying? Before he can finish his sentence, the system's voice announces the end of the countdown. Host has opened a phantom dimensional rift and can enter a time-stopped state. The condition for release is to complete the assigned mission within the phantom dimensional rift. Mission content. Help the descendant of the founder of the Heavenly Body 100 Refinements technique to no longer be bullied at school. The subject's name is Chen Yang. Physical attributes and strength will be swapped 100%. Scene shifts to another world. In a very masculine pink bedroom. Linfan suddenly opens his eyes, not knowing where he is. Our Linfan is confused, not sure about his gender. While he's checking his own body, his mother suddenly opens the door and comes in. Yang, hurry up and have breakfast, then get ready for school. She suddenly closes the door again and says, Mom didn't see anything. Wow, there's a potato. Is this guy crazy? He's a boy. Why is he wearing a girl's pink pajamas? On the dining table there are steamed milk buns and another bowl of something, I guess it's porridge. My Yang is so adorable, those classmates must just be joking. Yang, don't take it to heart. Finish your breakfast and go to school diligently. Soy milk, no dear, this is cow's milk. High school graduation exams are coming soon. My Yang, remember not to get distracted. Okay, just focus on your studies and everything will be fine. If you focus on studying, no one will. The mother is surprised to see Linfan pouring milk into his porridge bowl. Linfan then picks up the bowl and pours it straight into his mouth. After finishing, he turns back and says, Soy milk mixed with porridge is delicious. At this, the mother is also at a loss for words. In the other world, Linfan, in the guise of a student, still has to go to school. On the bus to school, he gallantly gives his seat to a little girl from the same school. This action is seen by Zhang Hao, Chen Yang's classmate. He stands up wanting to start trouble. Chen Yang, didn't I tell you to save a seat for me? Linfan looks back in surprise. What's wrong? You're not saving a seat for me today? What's the matter? Itching for a beating since it's been a while. In his memory, Chen Yang is a timid person who is often bullied. I'm scared of pain, please don't hit me anymore. The one smacking Chen Yang's face is actually Linfan. Slap, slap, slap. This guy's eyes look strange today. The little girl who was given the seat speaks up. Excuse me, he gave his seat to me. This usually timid person is looking at me with an indifferent gaze today. In the middle of the tension, a loud scream is heard. Murder. A mental patient is killing people. A man covered in wounds frantically urges the driver, Drive, we're running out of time. Then a bald man holding 2 knives climbs onto the bus, constantly threatening to slash and kill others. Chen Yang's friend screams in fear. What the hell is that? Chen Yang calmly stands and watches, then says, he's not a mental patient. The other schoolmates are terrified. The bald man with the knife rushes forward, still shouting, I'll slash you all. He stops for a second and glances at the little girl. The little girl covers her mouth and trembles in fear. He lunges forward to slash the girl. The terrified girl can only raise her hands to block in vain. The sound of a blade hitting flesh is heard, and with a swoosh blood splatters. Zhang Hao is so scared he can't stand steady, his limbs trembling. He can only scream and point towards Chen Yang. Chen Yang still has his hand raised, blocking the knife from the bald man. His blood-soaked hand is steady as he calmly says, Old monk, why do you wish to kill? The bald man yells, I'm not a monk. What are you doing? Let go of me. You let go. No, you let go. During the struggle, more and more blood flows from Chen Yang's wound, making his schoolmates both scared and astonished. Linfan asks, But aren't you going to answer me? Hearing this, the bald man gets scared, drops the knife, and backs away, sitting on the ground due to Chen Yang's tenacity. This guy screams, Are you crazy? Linfan persists, Hey, answer my question. Outside, police cars and ambulances are dispatched and gather around the bus. The little girl is let out by a nurse, but still looks back into the bus. The bald man is scared out of his wits by Chen Yang and begs, Don't you come over here. Don't come over here, I'll scream. Boo-hoo! Chen Yang tilts his head and innocently asks, You don't need the knife anymore, sir. The bald old man is terrified. I don't need it. I don't need it. Stay away from me. Chen Yang, holding the 2 still dripping knives, says, If you don't need them, then fine. Outside the bus, Zhang Hao is in a daze, his soul having left his body. Where is this? Who am I? What am I doing? Then a voice calls from behind. Hello, classmate. Zhang Hao turns around to see Chen Yang, one hand holding a knife, the other covered in blood, extending it towards him and saying, Let's get acquainted again. Zhang Hao tremblingly extends his hand and shakes hands with Chen Yang. Hello. Yeah, hello. He trembles in fear as the blood sticks to his hand while Chen Yang remains so calm. I have an image of you in my head. You are Zhang Hao, Chen Yang's classmate. Suddenly a beautiful nurse runs over to rescue Zhang Hao. This student, your hand is injured. Let me bandage it for you. She praises Chen Yang for being so strong, bleeding so much without a single cry of pain. Chen Yang replies, Pain is just a form of cultivation. My willpower is very strong. I'm used to it. Hearing these words from Chen Yang, she feels something is wrong. He seems a bit strange. Am I hallucinating? Or is he just acting tough? I wonder where he bought that delicious-looking stuff. The bald man is led away by the police. As he walks past and sees Chen Yang being bandaged by the nurse, he becomes frantic, repeatedly screaming, "That guy is the real psycho." Our two police officers can only chase after him. Stop, don't run. As they prepare to leave, a police officer calls Chen Yang back. "Classmate, you are very brave. To thank you for your selfless act for the community, the police department has decided to contact the school to commend and publicize your brave example of self-sacrifice to save a friend." Chen Yang is extremely indifferent. "I'm leaving now, only worried about being late for class." Wow, injured so badly and still wants to go to class. This spirit of learning is truly admirable. It seems the police officer's son is in for another lecture tonight about unforgettable songs or other people's children and all that jazz. What bad luck for the two old guys. The police officer quickly calls back, Hey, you're injured. You can take the day off." The officer offers to get Chen Yang excused from school. "I'll contact the school." Chen Yang immediately refuses. "No need. Getting injured during cultivation is very normal. The more I get injured, the stronger I become." But when he heard Chen Yang's reply, he felt something was off. Finally, after a tumultuous encounter with the bald man, Chen Yang arrives at the gate of Sangdui High School. Stepping into the classroom, one can smell the books. If Lao Zhang could also come here, he would surely become the most outstanding professor of acupuncture. Chen Yang thinks to himself, "If I see anything I don't like, I'll stick a needle in it." That's settled. Class 12A2. This is the classroom from Chen Yang's memories. Chen Yang enters the classroom, goes to his seat, and rests his face on the desk, gradually sinking into a stream of memories. In the past, how is the treatment for my Fan going? Can he go to school yet? His peers are all in high school now. For normal children, that's true, but Linfan is a severe mental patient, so he can't go to school. Linfan's mother sadly receives the results from the doctor. Suddenly, a pen is stuck into his arm. Chen Yang is startled awake just because he accidentally crossed the boundary of this fierce red-haired girl. "I told you, if you cross the line, you'll get stabbed." She does this because she wants to see his timid, weak reaction to being bullied. Their four eyes meet for a moment. Chen Yang's lack of reaction confuses the girl. Thinking she stabbed too lightly, she applies more force. Chen Yang asks, "Is this a game like the way he played games in Thansun Mental Hospital?" These words confuse the red-haired girl. What hospital did I still stab too lightly? Why isn't he showing any sign of pain? But I already used a lot of force. Suspicious, she pulls the pen out. Blood from Chen Yang's arm sprays out in a stream, terrifying her. She screams loudly and runs away. Her face is splattered with a bit of Chen Yang's syrup. Personally, the admin would have preferred milk to be sprayed on this girl's face. I wonder if you guys think the same as me. Leave a comment, hey. Seeing this scene, the green-haired guy snitches to Zhang Hao. "Hey, it looks like the Li Jue you like is being bullied by Chen Yang." Then he suggests they drag Chen Yang to the bathroom for Zhang Hao to beat him up. Hearing this, Zhang Hao panics, Don't do that. "I've noticed Chen Yang is a bit strange." The green-haired guy voices his disagreement. "Isn't he just a weakling? What's so strange about that?" Before they could compose themselves, Chen Yang walks over to them and starts greeting them. "Classmate, nice to meet you again. I remember you guys are also friends who really like to play games with Chen Yang." The green-haired guy thinks this is a stupid act and can't believe his eyes. "What the hell?" Zhang Hao stands up, shaking hands and talking cheerfully with Chen Yang. Chen Yang says, "I recognize you. We met once on the bus." Zhang Hao says, "Right, that's right. Me? What am I seeing? Zhang Hao, you're scared of a weakling. In the end, are you crazy or am I?" During class, as the teacher prepares to call someone to the board to recite yesterday's lesson, I assigned everyone to memorize the Red Cliff Rhapsody. Who volunteers to come up and recite? It's over. This witch is notoriously strict. Unlucky for whoever gets called on. The whole class is probably panicking and praying for themselves, but Lady Luck did not smile upon Chen Yang. "Chen Yang, come to the board and recite for me." Chen Yang is most afraid of this teacher. He's probably scared out of his wits right now. Contrary to the green-haired guy's thoughts, Chen Yang stands up and says clearly, "Sorry, I haven't memorized it." Damn, he dares to refuse, and he's not even using honorifics, looking the teacher straight in the eye, completely unafraid amidst the class's astonishment. Chen Yang's gaze awakens her teacher's sixth sense. She feels there's something different about this student. "Teacher, may I sit down now?" Chen Yang's friendly smile makes her feel uneasy. Yes, you may sit down. Chen Yang thanks her and sits down. Damn it, she just let him off like that. The whole class begins to doubt the meaning of life. The bell rings, ending the class. Chen Yang isn't resting at his seat, but is holding a key in front of an electrical socket. The green-haired guy Yang naturally approaches and asks Chen Yang, "You're pretty arrogant today. What trick did you use to threaten my brother Zhang Hao and that witch?" Chen Yang continues to ignore him. This attitude enrages the green-haired guy. "You bastard, I'm talking to you. You dare to ignore me? You want a beating." Chen Yang calmly replies, "I want to plug this key into the electrical socket to conduct my cultivation. The electric current can stimulate the body and make us stronger." The already angry green-haired guy gets even angrier. "Are you crazy? Plug a key into the socket. You dare prove your words." Chen Yang immediately plugs the key into the socket. Attention everyone, do not try this. This is just a story and not real. If any god out there actually does this, remember to send me a lottery number in a dream. The green-haired guy is horrified. Holy shit, you actually... Before he can finish, the green-haired guy is electrocuted and sent flying when he dares to touch Chen Yang. His classmates think the pose looks cool as hell. Another guy approaches intending to hit the green-haired guy. "Wow, I didn't know you could also dance hip-hop." "Yang Zetian, wake him up for me." The second guy meets the same fate. Two other guys see this and say, "What the hell are they doing? That feels cool as hell, man." The guys below see this and rush up wanting to be taught that badass pose, and so the whole group gets a 220V current running through their bodies. The dance of 1,000 demons is the situation right now, looking like a festival, haha. Chen Yang thinks the current is a bit weak, and the cultivation effect isn't good, so he pulls the key out of the socket. When Chen Yang turns around, he sees all his classmates lying limp, very burnt and smelly. Chen Yang wonders aloud, "If you're sleeping, you should be in bed, not on the floor." He assumes they fell asleep here from exhaustion due to stressful studies. To avoid disturbing his classmates' sleep, our culprit quietly sneaks out of the classroom to go to the bathroom. Today, I will teach my favorite topic, trigonometric functions. I will definitely make the students feel the charm of trigonometric functions. The teacher cheerfully enters the room. "Good morning, my dear students." His book's lesson plan and ruler all fall to the ground. The teacher freezes when he sees the scene. All of his students are lying chaotically on the classroom floor. He quickly calls an ambulance to save the kids. "Is this 102? "Yes, there's a pile of trigonometric functions lying here. I mean, students lying motionless. Address is Sangdui High School Class 12A2. The teacher is also confused. If it were you in that situation, could you stay calm? Leave a comment and let everyone know. He gets annoyed when they ask for the cause. Damn it. I'd like to know too. I just walked into the room and found a pile of them lying all over the place. You guys hurry up or they'll all be meeting their ancestors, and you're still asking about cause and effect. The ambulance immediately rushes to the school gate and parks in the yard. Chen Yang is surprised. How is it that I was just gone to the bathroom for a moment, and so many friends have to go to the emergency room for studying too hard? School is so scary. Holy cow. Reading up to this point, I also feel angry for the students who were wrongly electrocuted. Hey, did you hear? This afternoon, the entire class, 12A2, got electrocuted, except for one person who escaped because he went to the bathroom. I heard it's that guy who's always bullied by his classmates. He's completely fine. The whole school is buzzing with discussion again. When school is over, a girl hiding behind a tree timidly calls out to Chen Yang. Are you calling Chen Yang right now? I am Chen Yang. His sudden appearance makes the girl shyly step back. Did you call Chen Yang for something? She is embarrassed. It turns out she wrote him a letter but was too shy to give it to him. A hand from behind snatches it away. A love letter. He is Tang Jian, the school's big boss, along with 2 lackeys who always follow him to cause trouble. Is this a love letter for our Chen Yang? The girl panics and wants it back. Give it back. They tease her, preventing her from getting the letter back. Our Yang Yang is so good he even gets love letters from girls. The surrounding students, not wanting trouble, say to each other, "Don't get involved, let's get out of here. Give it back to me." As fast as lightning, to the surprise of the bullies, Chen Yang has snatched the letter back. Why did you steal her things? Chen Yang, you've got guts daring to snatch things from my hand. Tang Jian's gang utters a threat. If you read the love letter in your hand to us in front of this beauty right now, then I'll let it slide today. Chen Yang says to the girl, your letter? Do you want me to read it to them? The girl, with tears streaming down continuously, shakes her head. Seeing this, our idiot refuses. This letter belongs to her. She said not to read it, so I won't either. Tang Jian punches the tree behind Chen Yang hard. I'll give you another chance to speak. Are you reading it or not? Tang Jian pulls his hand back, leaving a dent in the tree trunk. Damn, seeing this, the girl, wanting to keep her love safe, cries loudly and tells Chen Yang to read it. A lackey chimes in. Did you hear that? Read it. Chen Yang turns back to comfort her. They can't beat me, so I don't need to listen to them, amidst Tang Jian's surprise and anger. Chen Yang, what did you just say? A lackey speaks up. This weakling, you're asking for a beating, aren't you? You dare raise your fist at us. Chen Yang gently touches the tree trunk with his fist. The sound of the tree breaking is heard before the bulging eyes of the thugs and the girl. The tree trunk snaps in half, scaring them out of their wits. They can't believe their eyes. 2 students run quickly to the dean's office to report that they saw Chen Yang of class 12A2 being blocked by Tang Jian at the school gate. That kid Tang Jian is bullying a classmate again. As the homeroom teacher, today I must teach him a lesson. The 3 of them quickly run to the scene where Chen Yang's group is gathered. The 3 of them freeze for about 2 seconds. The scene before them leaves the 3 teachers and students stunned. Chen Yang is lecturing Tang Jian's gang of thugs. What the fuck is this situation? Now repeat after me. Stealing from others is wrong. Doing bad things is wrong. Tang Jian fearfully repeats, Saint stealing from others is wrong. Doing bad things is also wrong. To read someone else's letter, you must have the owner's permission. Only then can the letter be read. Tang Jian looks at the broken tree and stammers in fear. To read someone's letter, you must have the letter owner's permission. Chen Yang affectionately praises him gently, patting Tang Jian's face with the letter. You're a good boy. You know you're wrong and you're willing to change, but your face is a bit thin. After school, don't loiter. Go straight home and remember to eat a lot when you get home. Tang Jian is terrified. Okay, I'll go home immediately. I'll go home and eat. Tang Jian's gang of thugs quickly scurries away. The homeroom teacher is horrified. Did the author get the script wrong? The teacher suspiciously asks the 2 female students. Student Chen Yang bullied the school's big boss, Tang Jian. The 2 female students can only shake their heads. No. Chen Yang returns the letter to the girl, to the surprise of the 3 teachers and students who were watching the drama. She then says, this letter is for you. Lao Zhang once said that pink letters are usually love letters representing a confession of love. A romantic scene. She blushes shyly and expresses her feelings. I like you. Can you agree to be my boyfriend? But the homeroom teacher objects, agree my ass. Early dating is forbidden. In that romantic setting, Chen Yang gives an answer like, no. My whole life, I want to focus on traveling as the strongest man. You are not worthy. The blunt refusal is like 1,000 rose thorns piercing her heart. This blockhead still doesn't understand why she just cursed him, ran away so quickly, and cried so loudly. You're crazy. You're a bastard. You're the one who's not worthy. It's just as Lao Zhang said, understanding a girl's mind is harder than finding a needle in a haystack. The 2 onlooking girls silently curse, forever alone dog. But it seems he's forgetting something. Does anyone remember? Never mind. The important thing is, he runs back amidst the anger of the drama-watching girls. In the hospital, the doctor doesn't understand what students are thinking these days. They don't study hard, but play such dangerous games. Cut off his clothes, immediate surgery. The patient suddenly sits up, protecting his belongings. Don't cut my clothes. My clothes are Armani. That's a month's worth of food, money. It's very expensive. He manages to say 2 sentences before fainting again. The doctors are at a loss for words as they watch him collapse back into a coma. The doctor angrily shouts, playing such a dangerous game. Let your parents burn a set of paper clothes for you. After a day of surgery, the whole group of students is bandaged up like mummies lying in the room in pain. Oh, it hurts so much. Why hasn't Mom come yet? What happened to us anyway? The doctor said we were electrocuted. One person yells, we all got electrocuted. Huh, I didn't touch any power source. I only touched Zhang Hao. I touched Yang Zitian. Me too. After touching Yang Zitian, I lost consciousness. Yang Zitian gets angry. What did your dad do? Because I touched the shoulder of that weakling Chen Yang. He said he wanted to plug a key into the socket. How was I supposed to know he'd actually do it? So it's because Chen Yang plugged the key into the socket. It was him. So where is he now? I don't see Chen Yang anywhere. I don't see him either. The green-haired guy thinks he must still be in the emergency room. We got electrocuted and ended up like this. He directly plugged a key into the socket. How could he survive? He's not dead, is he? The whole group falls silent. They feel that although Chen Yang was a bit of a weakling, he wasn't that annoying. It's a bit of a pity if he's dead. Another classmate speaks up. Although he's a disgrace to the boys of our class, he usually buys us stuff. It's a bit of a pity if he's dead. I don't know who to bully in class anymore. A knock on the door from outside startles the whole group. Everyone makes wild guesses about who is outside. Is the doctor coming to check on us again? Just in time, I can ask the nurse to get my phone. It must be my mom. Chen Yang peeks his head in from the door and asks, "Are you the students from Sangdoi High School?" The whole group in the room sits up, eyes wide with astonishment. "Oh, you actually found us." The culprit of the whole class innocently asks, "Studying so hard that you all ended up in the hospital. As a classmate, I came to visit you all." The whole group wonders, how is he not dead? He's fine. What's going on? He's also unscathed. No injuries at all. This is a get-well gift, 2 smoked sausages and a carton of milk for each of you. The group thinks to themselves, he's really fine, and he even came to visit. The whole group doubts reality. The person who directly plugged the key into the power source is completely fine. Chen Yang approaches Yang Zitian to give him his gift. "I don't need it. Get away from me. Who wants your get-well gift?" "What trick did you pull?" Hearing this, Zhang Hao immediately apologizes on his friend's behalf. "Brother Chen, don't blame Yang Zitian. He doesn't understand. Just give the stuff to me." "Thank you, Brother Chen." "Zhang Hao, are you crazy? What did you just call this weakling? Did the electrocution make you stupid?" At this moment, one person in the group is holding his phone and discovers a group message. "Holy shit, you guys, open your phones and see what Big Boss just sent to the group." And so the whole group scrambles to pick up their phones and look. They are utterly astonished by the pictures that were sent. And so Yang Zitian puts his phone down as obedient as a puppy. "Brother Chen, thank you for visiting and bringing get-well gifts. So precious." On the hospital rooftop where the group of students is, a patient is attempting to end his life. He recalls the scene of his wife throwing divorce papers in his face while he was still lying on his sickbed. This heartless woman and her lover are standing before him saying, "Stop dawdling, hurry up and sign. Let's part on good terms. You're not going to live much longer anyway. Now you bring him right in front of me. Can't you even wait until I'm dead? What's left to hold on to?" Turning around, he jumps, tears streaming down. He asks himself, after more than 10 years of marriage, do you have any conscience left? "Brother Chen, I heard you punched a tree and broke it in front of Tang Jian." "How big was that tree?" Chen Yang points to the tree below. At this moment, the poor uncle is free-falling right past the classroom's hospital room. The whole group sees this and screams in fear, "Holy crap, someone's jumping!" With incredible speed, Chen Yang quickly grabs the man's arm, to the astonishment of the entire class. The force of the fall is so strong it breaks Chen Yang's arm bone. He quickly switches hands. As he pulls the man up, damn it, Brother Chen actually caught a jumper with just one hand and even pulled him in through the window. "Is this something a normal person can do?" Chen Yang asks. "Why did you jump?" The uncle asks back. "Why did you save me?" The poor uncle tells his story. "I have a terminal illness and don't have long to live. My wife is having an affair. I accepted that, but she even brought him in front of me, forcing me to sign the divorce papers." Chen Yang pats and comforts him. "The director said when you encounter something harsh, you should cry. After you cry, you must face it. Such a pitiful uncle." Tears and snot are about to gush out. He hugs Chen Yang's thigh and cries miserably. The medical staff rushes in. The jumper. Was he saved and brought into this room? Oh my God, he was really saved. Was it you who saved him? How did you do it? Seeing blood flowing from Chen Yang's arm, they yell, "Brother, Chen, your arm!" Chen Yang just looks surprised and says, "Oh, it's broken." The whole group looks at Chen Yang like a monster. Holy cow, how can he be so calm? "Big bro, you broke a bone," Chen Yang nonchalantly says. "No need to mind it, it just needs to be set back." "I'm used to it." The medical staff is dumbfounded by Chen Yang's words. "Just needs to be set back." Used to it. Chen Yang has made his classmates change their attitude, viewing him as an idol. As expected of my beloved brother Chen, so cool. The school's group chat explodes with activity. Many posts and comments about Chen Yang's picture in the operating room feature his familiar quote, "It's just a broken bone. No need for anesthesia for me. Pain helps me train my willpower, making me stronger. I understand very well and am very familiar with the scenery here. You all are too very familiar." His words make the doctors confused. They even think that the wound lost too much blood, affecting his brain. Chen Yang adds to the doctor, "If you still insist on giving me anesthesia, then I have to tell you that I have no money." Before he could finish the sentence, the quick-handed doctor had already administered the anesthesia. Chen Yang immediately falls asleep. At this moment, the system's voice chimes in. After checking, the malice around the subject has decreased. Adoration and admiration points have increased, exceeding the mission index. Requesting a decision for the host to complete the mission early. Mission description completed. The assigned mission in the Phantom Dimensional Rift. Mission evaluation, S rank. Reward received, Heavenly Body 100 refinements. The technique has reached the perfect realm with an additional Qi cultivation method. The assigned mission has been completed. Host will leave the Phantom Dimensional Rift in 3 seconds. The host's current state in this world will end. The flow of time will return to normal. Countdown 3, 2, 1, returning. Back in the hospital room, Lao Jiang is asking, "What are you saying, Than Sun Mental Hospital Ward 666? Linfan looks around in surprise, which also surprises Lao Jiang. "Senior, are you asking what the psycho in my head is saying?" Rochono diez, his mouth still full of soy milk. "Haha, she said I went to a Phantom Dimensional Rift and it turned me into a psycho. Wearing a girl's stolen pajamas is truly perverted." The next development in the Phantom Dimensional Rift, Chen Yang's mother is sitting by his side waiting for him to wake up. "Mom." His mother is delighted. "My darling, you're awake." He notices the bandaged wound on his body and starts to cry loudly, constantly complaining of pain, which panics his mother. After recovering, Chen Yang is taken to school by his mother. Why hasn't Mom come back yet? It's just parking. Going in alone makes him scared. A group of students is standing right at the gate, bravely fighting against thugs covered in fresh blood, face unchanging. The leader is the big boss, which makes Chen Yang tremble in fear. Chen Yang looks left and right. All he sees are serious faces, which makes him want to cry suddenly. The whole group kneels on one knee, which startles and confuses Chen Yang. "Good morning, Brother Chen. Welcome back to school. Brother Chen, please, Brother Chen." Accompanied by the school's announcement speaker, broadcasting a commendation for Class 12A2 of Sangdui High School. Chen Yang's face turns pale as he hears the speaker talk about bravely fighting against thugs. Face unchanging with one arm and clothes stained with fresh blood, showing no fear or regret. He is a great shining example for the students of our school. Chen Yang becomes a legend. "Chen Yang, my love, have you become a legendary figure?" "As expected, I am not worthy." Duyanhai, city headquarters of the Special Forces. What the intelligence of the evil creatures is increasing. Inside a meeting of the city's top powerful experts is taking place. The information presented panics everyone. Impossible. There's no way they can generate. The Taoist Great Academy's Level 9 expert, Liu Haichan, and the Mao Shan. Great Academy's Level 9 expert Lin Daoming say, if the intelligence of evil creatures could increase, humanity would have gone extinct long ago. We don't need to study anymore either. Let's just pack up, go home, and write our wills. Their leader says, I am not joking with you all. The Medical Great Academy's Level 9 expert Chin Song is thinking to himself, if the intelligence of evil creatures can increase, what kind of impact will it have? This statement angers the leader, who slams the table and shouts, don't use the word if here. This is a fact confirmed by the research department. The Buddhist Great Academy's Level 9 expert Grandmaster Yangshin says Amitabha. One can be fierce with the Buddha, but not with a beautiful person. The Buddha is generous. Beautiful person. Before the Grandmaster can finish, the beautiful person he's referring to shouts, shut your mouth. The increase in the evil creature's intelligence could very well lead to a situation where members of the Special Forces cannot deal with evil creatures that have combat strategies of the same level. If that's the case, Won't the people of Duyanhai City be in danger? A danger warning has been sent to all members of the force. Old Maoshin starts complaining the low-level experts can't handle it, so they're making old folks like us step up. If we don't die in battle, we'll die from exhaustion. We should go home early these days and write our wills. Just as he says this, a giant swastika symbol is blasted into his face. It turns out to be a palm strike from the leader. Take that for your nonsense talk. If you don't want to die or be killed in battle, you should pray that Duyanhai City has more powerful experts. He is the leader of the Duyanhai City Special Forces, a top-tier one-eyed strategist, a city-guarding level expert. He is the leader of the Duyanhai City Special Forces, a top-tier one-eyed strategist, a city-guarding level expert. The director's office is filled with the sound of everyone singing Happy Birthday, gathered to celebrate the director's birthday. Thank you everyone for celebrating my birthday with me here. I'm so happy to be alive for my birthday this year. It's so good that the nurses and orderlies are still alive. The best director ever. You've been so resilient today. Make a wish. Director. The old director is clasping his hands, praying for a smooth day. Suddenly someone shouts, "It's terrible." Director. The patient from Ward 666 is leading other patients to cause a riot. The director silently curses in his heart. Damn it, I really want to swear. But as the director, he can't. In the ward, these two are holding up 2 drawings of symbols and demanding, "We want this. Didn't you just draw 2 eggs and a sausage? Here, isn't this small circle a quail egg? I brought it." Both of them shake their heads continuously. "No, we don't need this." "Then what do you want?" The 2 hold up their drawings. "We want this." The staff starts to get weary and can only remain silent. The director is here. Thank God the director is here. Both of them hold the drawings in front of the director. "We want this." He immediately refuses. This is not allowed. The 2 gods turn to look at each other, instantly understanding one another. They immediately roll on the ground and throw a tantrum. "I want this. We want this." The old director has to accept their request. "All right, go to the storage room and get the things for them." The staff member doesn't know what to get. The scene shifts back to Ward 666. It turns out these 2 gods want training equipment. The description is so bad that even my great-grandfather coming back to life wouldn't be able to recognize it. That's why the old director could recognize it instantly. What a magic trick. The 2 are delighted. We finally have it. We can cultivate now. It's unknown how long has passed, but the dumbbell and the punching bag are both broken. After my cultivation guidance, you have become a standard-level, powerful expert Linfan. Thank you, Senior Zhang. You are so kind. In a tunnel, several loud explosions scare a swarm of rats into fleeing. A young man appears. The 8 Kings' divine emissary nature immediately obeys. The young man then sends talismans flying. The talismans shoot out and explode on the monster. The monster is a level 2 evil creature. A first-tier support class girl, Yellow Elixir Chi and Blood Recovery 3, casts a buff on another young man. The young man, now buffed, begins to cast a spell, Heaven and Earth, Yin and Yang, Natural Taoist Arts Wu-Wei sword style. The young man shouts, "Go." The level 2 evil creature is hit and screams in pain. A Shaolin disciple comes to support holding his prayer beads. I don't know what these beads are. If any brothers who follow Buddhism know, please tell me. The Shaolin disciple shouts, "Arhat Golden Body." A large figure blocks the demonic dog's attack. The demonic dog glares at everyone with cold, sharp eyes. It raises its claws to attack another young man. It realizes it's the wrong person. The one it wants to attack is Xiang Ying. Just as the young man finishes his sentence, Xiang Ying has already taken a hit from the level 2 evil creature. Xiang Ying flies straight into the wall with a bang. She spits out some blood because she couldn't withstand the last blow and kneels down. The long-haired young man pauses for 2 seconds to think. It knows to attack the healer first. This evil creature is not simple. Quick, take Xiang Ying away. After saying that, he immediately pulls out 3 talismans, throwing them while shouting Thunderlight Subjugation Charm. But when they touch the evil creature, the talismans have no effect. The level 2 evil creature still has 1 foot pressing down on the golden figure of the bald Shaolin disciple. Suddenly the evil creature smirks, making the bald young man sweat profusely. All he hears are 2 crack sounds. It was holding back all this time. That was the Shaolin disciple's last thought, and so the young man becomes the first on the kill count. The 2 remaining young men can only grit their teeth and watch the bald man lie on the ground. Before they could recover from the shock, Another claw swipe lunges at them. The short-haired young man pushes the long-haired one aside, using his own body to shield his teammate. Run. The evil creature pulls out its claws. Syrup immediately gushes out, ending another life. Only the long-haired young man remains. Xiangying, can you still stand up? The long-haired young man screams in pain. Xiangying, hurry and get up. Can you get up? I'll hold it off. You run outside. Hearing this, she opens her eyes. The long-haired young man has already started to charge and fight the evil creature. With her last bit of strength, she transfers her chi and blood to the long-haired young man. The long-haired man receives her buff, but before his wooden sword can even touch the evil creature, he is already at its feet, calling out Xiangying. Seeing his dire situation, he resorts to self-destructing his inner elixir, hoping to die with the demonic dog and avenge his teammates. A huge explosion rings out, but unfortunately it doesn't kill the demonic dog. The evil creature, having lost a leg and heavily injured, stumbles away. Outside the hospital room, Linfan is sitting with his eyes closed, focusing on cultivation. Beside him, Lao Zhang is idly counting ants 1, 2, 3. So many ants. The system's voice sounds, "Congratulations to the host for successfully breaking through the chi cultivation method, to the Emperor's Gyai, taking people as the foundation, all methods become one realm." At this stage, the energy of heaven and earth has been absorbed into the body, immediately strengthening it. Lao Zhang calls Linfan. Look, this ant seems to be crying. Seeing Linfan looking unstable, he asks, "What's wrong with you? Are you sick?" The system issues a warning. The chi cultivation method is an ancient technique with immense power. It has exceeded the host's tolerance limit risk of explosion. Suddenly, with a thwip, it turns out Lao Zhang has begun to use the Milky Way circulation technique. A series of acupuncture needles are stuck into Linfan's head. As the last needle is inserted, Linfan erupts, screaming, sending Lao Zhang flying backward. An unlucky ant is impaled by a flying needle. The host's body opens a perfect vision, absorbing energy and eliminating the risk of explosion. The system is also surprised. Why did it open a perfect vision? Holy cow, I've watched up to this point, and I still don't get what this crappy system is. Linfan lets out a sigh of relief and calls Lao Zhang. Cultivating with that woman in my head just now was very uncomfortable. Luckily you helped me with those needles. Hearing this, Lao Zhang's eyes light up like car headlights as he rushes over to ask, "How about now? It's much better, right? My Milky Way circulation technique is super powerful, right?" Linfan happily replies, "Very powerful, but there's one problem." At this moment, he feels hungry. Lao Zhang suddenly remembers something, picks up the ant and tells Linfan to eat it. Haha, holy crap, S is also at a loss for words. This is called ma yi xiaodou, a dish very rich in protein and calcium, and it's edible. Don't worry, the taste is like stir-fried glass noodles with sea crab. It's also an edible dish. Lao Zhang continues, "I tried it earlier. It's a bit sour, but still edible." Linfan is surprised. "Oh, really?" As Linfan opens his mouth waiting for Lao Zhang to put it in, luck arrives. The nurse calls everyone to the cafeteria for a meal. Time to eat. The escaped ant silently curses. Damn, that was surreal. Meanwhile, Lao Zhang encourages Linfan, "Let's go, it's mealtime. No more ma yi xiaodou. Let's go to the cafeteria and eat stir-fried glass noodles with sea crab." Lao Zhang beside him comforts them. "Linfan will vomit it back out for you." Another one agrees. "That's acceptable, but wait, don't vomit it out yet." The nurse sees Linfan eating like a beast and comes over to scold him. "Patient number 1, ward 666. You can't eat anymore, you'll get a stomachache." The nurse stops him and calls Director Wang to check on Linfan's situation. Linfan still complains of hunger. The director wonders aloud, "Don't you have bulimia?" I need the detailed situation. While the director is talking, Linfan is already gnawing on a ceramic spoon to eat. The director says it could also be an eating disorder. The system's voice sounds again. "Congratulations to the host for opening the perfect vision, able to absorb all the energy of heaven and earth into the body without limit." Congratulations, host. Breaking through the chi cultivation method to the human stage, you can gather the energy of heaven and earth into your body. Immediate enhancement. Side effect: from now on, the body will always feel hungry and must absorb a large amount of energy. Scene change. A horrific massacre has been discovered by members of the Special Forces. One of their leaders is smoking a cigarette while inspecting the crime scene investigation team. Holy cow, a one-eyed man silently curses animal. The victims this time are 4 outstanding graduates from the great academies confirmed to be level 2 strategists. 4 against 1, yet all were annihilated. In that case, the rumors online about the evil creature's increased intelligence are damn true. The research team has just arrived at the scene to simulate the battle process. A level 2 dog demon that knows to attack the support class first completely shatters the standard coordination of a combat squad. This shows that experts of the same level can no longer deal with it. So where is that monster now? It's unclear, still a mystery. Perhaps it escaped through the sewers. It even knows how to use sewer water to mask its scent. But the good news is it's also not lightly injured. The scene is not far from your camp. Be careful. After saying that, the one-eyed man hangs up and instructs his assistant, tell the information team to notify everyone. Raise the alert level for all escaped evil creatures by 1. The assistant has one more thing to report to the leader. The families of the victims group have learned the news and are constantly calling to inquire. The one-eyed man just says, clean up the bodies, and the evil creature then call them to come and collect them. He adds one more sentence. The kids were very brave, worthy of being experts of the special forces. They were just a bit reckless and ignorant. No need to say the last part. The old director is angry upon receiving the warning about the damned hiding demonic dog. This man-killing dog dares to come near my mental asylum. I'll immediately call the special forces to deal with your toy dog. The room door suddenly bursts open. A panicked staff member runs in to report. It's terrible, Director. The ladies in charge of cooking in the cafeteria were scared unconscious by the patient from Ward 666. The old director's shaky appearance frightens him. Regaining his composure, he asks, what happened? 2 hours ago, the nurse stopped Linfan from eating indiscriminately. This symptom is very unusual. I suggest we take him for a checkup immediately. A patient questions the nurse as he sees Linfan being taken away. So isn't he going to return the food he ate from my stomach? What evil idea are these two up to now? Lao Zhang is seen giving a thumbs up. But it's not just a thumbs up. Lao Zhang is signaling to Linfan that he has received his distress signal. Lao Zhang looks really dangerous. What is Lao Zhang planning to do? Practice the iron head technique. Lao Zhang repeatedly slams his head on the table, and the whole room erupts in chaos. Quick, come here. Someone's having an episode again. Quick, get him away from the table. This is self-harm. It's best to tie him up with ropes. Thanks to the chaos created by Lao Zhang, Linfan quietly slips away. Before leaving, he doesn't forget to signal back to Lao Zhang. Lao Zhang, his head covered in syrup, also gives a thumbs up. The plan went smoothly. Amazing good job. In the hospital kitchen, someone is entering accompanied by moaning sounds. I'm so hungry, which startles the 2 female cooks. The image of Linfan in the eyes of the 2 cooks, I'm so hungry, I want to eat human flesh, which scares them to death. Realizing Linfan is the patient from Ward 66, the 2 immediately faint under his innocent gaze. After hearing the story from the staff, the director increases their salary, giving each of them 300 as compensation for mental distress. He is extremely puzzled by the reason for Linfan's hunger. When he hears the assistant say that Dr. Wang is examining him, he says, "Tell Director Wang to report back to me after the examination is done." The scene shifts to a location in the city. From a city sewer manhole, something with glowing red eyes is slowly emerging. I don't smell any powerful experts around. It should be safe here. It turns out to be a severely injured level 2 demonic beast in hiding. Pursued by powerful experts, its wounds are too severe. I need a safe, deserted place to recuperate, and the place it chose is the Qingshan Mental Hospital. Truly, it ignored the countless paths to heaven and walked straight into the gateless hell. It had to find food while recuperating. This demon dog came up with a new idea: let humans take care of it. No sooner said than done, it used its ultimate transformation technique. Its demonic beast brothers said that humans like this soft and cute type the most. Seeing how cute I am, and how badly injured my body is, they will surely take good care of me, right? It thought, you foolish humans. Your dog king has arrived to receive your offerings. The cunning demon dog was approaching the hospital to carry out its plan. In hospital room 666, Lao Zhang was complaining to Linfan about his broken watch. The nurse who bandaged me said today is March 2nd, but my watch stopped on the 29th. I have to get my watch fixed, but this time the warranty has expired. I have to pay to get it fixed. The two looked at each other and Lao Zhang said, "But I don't have any money." Linfan replied, "Me neither." Lao Zhang said, "I know you don't have money, so how about we go kidnap someone? I heard kidnapping is a quick way to make money. Oh my god, I wonder which unlucky soul is going to get kidnapped." Linfan said, "Who would we kidnap now, senior? You are my good friend. I want to help you, but if I kidnap you, who will pay? You don't have money." Lao Zhang came up with an idea. "How about I kidnap you?" Lao Zhang continued, "Don't you have a girlfriend? I'll pretend to kidnap you so she'll get my watch fixed for me. As soon as the watch is fixed, I'll let you go." Linfan said, "I don't have a girlfriend, Lao Zhang." "Isn't that female MC on TV your girlfriend? You said so yourself." Linfan replied, "That's my wife, I don't have a girlfriend." Hearing that Lao Zhang said a wife, I thought she was your girlfriend. In that case, it won't work. People say you'll live long if you don't take money from your wife. Ha ha ha, not even married yet, you're quite knowledgeable. As for me, I have to offer my money to my wife every month. It's so tough. Whimper. It seems like there's a puppy crying. Yeah, it's probably that one clinging to the window over there. The demon dog put on a pitiful face to win them over, thinking to itself, "Foolish humans. Don't you see my cuteness? Hurry up and come serve me." They both found it very cute. Lao Zhang noticed that the poor little dog seemed to be severely injured, with its shoulder covered in blood. The demon dog stretched its body to climb to the third floor, startling a mental patient on the floor below. Lao Zhang quickly suggested, "Let's hurry and bring it inside. I feel like I can treat it. Just you wait. If the old man in my house uses his acupuncture skills, even a level 9 demonic beast would be a goner, haha." Lao Zhang petted the dog and said, "It's too heavily injured. We must treat it quickly." Linfan quickly replied, "It's a good thing you know acupuncture. You can definitely heal it." The demon dog was delighted to know it had come to the right place. Who would have thought it's a human who knows acupuncture? Haha, you're so done for. The demon dog even had a wicked idea, planning to harm the two after they healed it. It was stunned when Lao Zhang stuck a needle in its head, making it spurt out a few drops of juice. And by this point you all know what happens next. Lao Zhang said, "The puppy is shivering. Is that a sign that it's gradually recovering?" Linfan replied, "I guess so." Lao Zhang is so skilled the demon dog foamed at the mouth and could only cry out, "What's happening? Why are my limbs paralyzed?" Lao Zhang noticed a spot. "This spot doesn't look quite right. Let me help it with a few more needles." Hearing that the demon dog didn't even have time to react when a handful of needles from Lao Zhang's hand pierced its body. It could only curse inwardly, "Stop, stop, this is so uncomfortable." The demon dog grew suspicious again. "You human, do you even have an acupuncture license?" Then it could only cry out, "It's so cold, so hot. Is he really helping me heal?" So it wondered, "Why do I feel like I'm about to die?" It must be an illusion, definitely an illusion. While checking on the demon dog's condition, Linfan's stomach rumbled, prompting Lao Zhang to turn and ask, "Are you feeling hungry again?" Linfan looked pitiful. "I haven't had a full meal all day." In Linfan's mind, the system's voice reminded him, "Scan detected. A powerful energy creature that can help the host suppress hunger for 3 days has been found. It's right next to the host." Linfan looked towards the demon dog. Energy value is twice the basic attributes, edible, non-toxic, presenting cooking methods. Method 1. Marinate with spices including galangal, lemongrass, chili salt, sugar, and shrimp paste, then stew for 3 hours. Method 2. Grill over low heat. The aroma will make the patient next to you cry with craving. Note, it will taste better when dipped in skunk vine leaves and shrimp paste. This system is quite suitable for our Vietnamese cuisine. Why didn't it import to S right, haha? Brothers, if you want a system like this, let everyone know. Linfan's dangerous gaze at the demon dog made it shudder with fear. What's with that look in his eyes? The two of them suddenly cheered up, praising the little dog for being extremely cute. The two of them switched to a blood-red gaze. Something this cute must be very delicious, right? That's right, I think so too. Hearing that, the demon dog jumped in shock. What the dog? What the heck is this? Cute equals delicious. This theorem made the demon dog shrink in fear. The craving expression of Lao Zhang's group made it doubt. Is there something wrong with these humans' brains? And their human identity? Are they really human? It only heard Lao Zhang's voice. Be good. Don't be afraid. Seeing the craving look in their eyes made the demon dog terrified. It thought, with my cute appearance, I can't believe you two really want to eat me. Lao Jang suddenly grabbed the bunch of needles and pulled them out, making the demon dog just yelp, "Arf, arf." "I'm not doing acupuncture on it anymore. It can't be saved." "I believe you. If it can't be healed, then we can only wait for it to die and then eat its meat." Hearing that the demon dog thought these two guys weren't normal. "Want to wait for me to die? No way. As a level 2 demonic beast, it's better for this dog to act alone. Not being killed by someone with acupuncture needles, the other person will get well even faster. Doggy, doggy, close your eyes and rest in peace." Lao Zhang was chanting a requiem for the demon dog. The demon dog was truly astonished to see that. It thought, humans, don't be so arrogant. Don't mess with a dog. You're the ones who should die. Lao Zhang wondered. "Linfan, it still won't die." Linfan said, "It's okay, look at its wound. We just have to wait for all the blood to flow out." Lao Chang eagerly waited for it to die quickly so he could enjoy his late-night meal. The two's expectant looks also made the demon dog's soul leave its body in fright. Lao Zhang thought, "It's too small, definitely not enough for you to eat. But can I have one of its legs?" Linfan immediately replied, "Of course you can." The painful blow made the demon dog lie there, guessing if he was a level 2, level 3, or level 4 expert. It once thought Linfan's strength was definitely not below level 4. It classified him as extremely dangerous. Lao Zhang delightfully petted the demon dog's soft fur. Linfan, however, was disappointed. "Why isn't it dead yet? I'm so hungry." Lao Zhang thought the big dog's tail was very soft. Linfan added, "I want to see it wag its tail too." Linfan then said, "The big dog is a good dog. I think it will wag for you. Obedient, my ass. I will never ever be like those common dogs." It thought one thing and did another. What a demon dog that's afraid of being hit. Haha, this doesn't count. This is just an instinct to respect the strong. Once I get away from this dangerous human, I will definitely take it out on your other kind. Lao Zhang had a new idea. "I want to see its tail wag in a circular motion, not just left and right like this." Feeling excessively bullied, it thought that after escaping, it would hire a lawyer to sue these two for violating its dog rights. Linfan again applied force to the demon dog's teeth. Expressing his love, he said, "If you're a good big dog, you have to know how to wag your tail in circles. It will be cuter that way." Linfan's patting gesture made its head feel like it was about to split open. All right, I'll spin it, okay." It had no choice but to comply to save its life. Lao Chang was excited by its recent tail-spinning action. So cute the big dog is. So obedient. Lao Zhang thought that if the big dog was cute, its meat would be very delicious. Linfan agreed. That's right, it must be very delicious. It's a good thing it got bigger. If it was as small as before, it wouldn't be enough to eat. Linfan leaned close to the demon dog and said, "This cute big dog is enough for one meal." The demon dog heard their discussion about eating it like a thunderclap. What the dog? Lao Chang wondered, "So how are we going to cook this big dog?" "I don't know what to cook. I like stir-fried dog meat with chili." Linfan likes to eat hot pot. But the psycho in his head said this demon dog would be delicious cooked in plum wine sauce. But no matter what dish, we don't have a fire to cook with. The director said we have to eat cooked food and drink boiled water to avoid stomach aches. The demon dog breathed a sigh of relief when it heard there was no fire. At this moment, Linfan looked at the light bulb. "Senior, do you think we can roast the big dog's meat with electricity?" Lao Zhang was overjoyed. "I think we can, and I think it's a great idea. Last time when I helped you cultivate with electricity, I smelled that your meat was very fragrant." Hearing Lao Zhang say that Linfan thought the big dog's meat would also become very fragrant. Damn it, who am I? Where am I? Have I strayed into a human hell? The demon dog's barks and curses echoed through the night. Linfan was using the electricity in the room to roast the demon dog's meat. "This is a dangerous act. Friends, don't try this. If you do, remember to tell S the Viet Lot lottery numbers in a dream. Okay?" Hey, Lao Zhang happily sat and watched. Hey, you can really use electricity to create fire. So clever. Youngsters don't believe the nonsense from this character. The narrator won't be responsible, hehe. The two gods' room lit up brightly in the quiet night. The awake patients thought they were having a party without inviting them to join. The demon dog was roasted by the electric current, and its body emitted a fragrant aroma that excited Lao Zhang. Linfan said, "It's almost done." The doggy used its last bit of strength to curse the two beasts. Then it wanted to raise its leg, aiming to take the two gluttons down with it. But it was too late. It had ended its life and successfully ascended. Tomb of the Great Dog. Maybe in my next life I won't be reincarnated as a human. But in this life, you two are definitely dogs. Lao Jiang was curious. Big dog, is it cooked yet? Linfan replied, it's ready to eat. The finished product is ready. The big dog is about to be served on a plate. This is not a dog, friends. You shouldn't take it as real. No buying and selling means no killing. Dogs are man's best friend. We shouldn't eat dog meat. The fragrant smell of meat made the two gods swallow their saliva. The two of them sat and chewed greedily, enjoying the vitamin flavor. Good job, amazing. Using electricity to roast the dog caused the circuit breaker to short out, leading to a power outage, causing an employee to go and check. This new employee's name is Liang. His colleague pointed him to room 666 to investigate the cause. The guy was curious about what was special in the room. A sudden light from the doorway shone in, making Lao Jiang and Linfan turn to look at the door. This terrifying image was quickly spotted by the guy. The guy was frightened and backed away. The thing in their hands was a head. The two guys even held up the head and asked, "How about it? Wanna join?" Sweating bullets. He fell backward in fear. He ran and screamed, "Help, help me! The mental patients are eating people." The matter immediately reached the director's ears. "Are you sure you saw it clearly? It was really a head, absolutely no mistake. The eyes of that head were even looking at me." Liang was terrified but certain. It was very scary. I didn't see it wrong at all. An employee reported to the director that the circuit breaker was fixed. The old director guessed the situation. The two of them were under the covers, lying in bed. When the director walked in and said good evening, the director asked, "What are you two doing?" Suddenly he cried out in surprise, "What is this?" The two answered in unison, "A dog fur rug." It was an unusually large dog fur rug. It was spread in the middle of the room. Holding a tuft of dog fur in his hand, he thought of that other thing. This is so surreal. There should be a smell in the room, right? No, it's impossible. If this is the fur of a level 2 demonic beast, why is there only a pile of skin and fur like this? He dismissed the thought in his mind. When he asked the two what they had done, our two gods both replied, "Sleeping." He asked again, "Just sleeping. You didn't do anything else, and you didn't leave the bed." The two shook their heads in denial again. The new employee was still certain I clearly saw them gnawing on a head. The director angrily asked Linfan, "What are you hiding in your blanket?" Linfan lifted the blanket and reported, "Director, there's nothing here." The old director had a headache. "Hurry up and take it out. That thing is glowing." To everyone's speechlessness, Linfan acted surprised by the glowing object in his pants. The flashlight was taken out and returned to the director. He could only sigh. He continued to ask about the origin of this dog fur. At this, the two quickly said, "We were already sleeping." "Good night to you," they said to politely send him away. The old director could only slap his forehead and sigh inwardly. Looking at me like this, who would know I'm only 54 springs old? An upright cadre, but since becoming the director here, his once luscious, vibrant black hair had faded away helplessly. He had to close the door and leave. He still told the two gods, "All right, then, be good and go to sleep." The two immediately sat up. As soon as the door closed, Lao Jiang asked Linfan, "Are you full?" Linfan said, "Yeah, I'm full, but I have a question I can't figure out." Lao Jiang asked, "What question?" "Why is it that every time I hide something, the director can find it, but your acupuncture needles are never discovered?" Hearing that Lao Jiang revealed his secret hiding spot and raised his hair to signal that he hid them in his hair, Lao Jiang enthusiastically supported the idea. The system's voice sounded again. "Congratulations, host, for finishing a pitiful level 2 dog, increasing physique strength and agility by 20 points. The body has been replenished with energy, temporarily suppressing the side effect of extreme hunger for 3 days. He shouted in anger, "Wait until I catch that beastly demonic creature. I will definitely crush its bones and skin it." Suddenly the phone rang and the person on the other end spoke. "You might not believe this, but it seems a mental patient in my hospital has killed the demonic beast you're hunting." One Eye didn't believe it. "It's the middle of the night. Even if you're dreaming, don't call me." The director affirmed, "It's the middle of the night. If you don't believe me, come over and I'll show you." One Eye said, "Damn it. Do you think you're some kind of beauty?" The director said nothing more and hung up. It's truly hard to be a good person. Oh, One Eye was thinking about whether to go or not. Then he touched the door to open it with his fingerprint. But he still thought, it's the middle of the night, and I'm jumping out the window to meet a damn old man. Am I crazy? Because this time, his destination was the Qingshan Mental Asylum. Brothers, when you watch up to this part, you already know. It's definitely the scene of jumping from the building, which looks very cool. I clearly saw the two of them gnawing on a huge head. The new employee Liang was searching for the demon dog's head. He thought that even if they ate it all, they should have left the bones. Discovering the pile of white bones in front of him made his jaw drop with excitement. He was horrified to discover the head they were gnawing on was so big. While he was stunned, a black shadow flashed past behind him. Startled, he turned to look, but saw nothing. He thought to himself, what was that just now? When he turned his head back, it was even scarier. The huge skull had disappeared in a few seconds. A skull running away on its own late at night. The extreme fright made him fall backward and faint. After witnessing so many scary things, his nerves had the right to take a break. A complaint was heard. Looking from the camera, he climbed over from here. He's here, and didn't even cover the manhole. It turned out the old director was bending over to inspect the manhole where the demon dog had snuck in. Suddenly, the demon dog's skull was rolling towards him. Before he could react, a hand from behind stopped the skull. One Eye's voice sounded, "This is the skull of a level 2 demonic beast dog. If nothing unexpected happened, this is the one I was looking for. Why is it dead?" "I already told you." One Eye was skeptical, thinking this was impossible. A normal person couldn't fight a demonic beast, let alone a mental patient. The old director handed One Eye a file suggesting that although they were mental patients, they might not be ordinary. "Hospital room 666's file. What is this? Just take a look first, then we'll talk." One Eye flipped through it and was surprised by the records inside. Is all of this true? Is that even possible? He looked doubtful. He seeks death every day but doesn't die. His limbs are always healthy, and he even jumps around randomly. The director affirmed, "That's right. The odds of this are even lower than winning the lottery." One Eye found it a bit hard to believe that the two Linfan had killed the demonic beast. How could they do it? The director didn't know the specific process, but speculated that they might have eaten it. "What the heck did you just say?" The director calmly replied they ate it. One Eye was horrified to hear the confirmation from the old director again. "I think they might be talented individuals. I want to meet them." Scene changed to the garden of the Qingshan Mental Hospital. Linfan and Lao Zhang were playing a game staring wide-eyed at the sun. Whoever blinks first loses. Linfan was highly focused, his eyes wide open. Lao Zhang pleaded, "Linfan, please blink. My eyes can't take it anymore." "All right, I've blinked." Lao Zhang was overjoyed to have won the game against Linfan. The two One Eye and the old director sat nearby observing. One Eye was quite interested to see Linfan staring directly at the sun. For a normal person, looking like that can easily cause corneal damage. But this teenager's eyes, after looking for so long, were not affected at all. This teenager most likely has a physical talent. If I discover that this Linfan really does have a special physical talent, One Eye asked, "Will you give him to me?" Seeing the director wasn't paying attention, One Eye angrily shouted, "Can you please be serious?" Seeing the old director not listening to him, One Eye continued, "If you're not going to give him to me." But the old director interrupted, "One Eye, don't ask anymore. As long as you ask. Not only will I give him to you, but it's a buy one get one free deal. That white-haired guy is also a gift for you. That's Lao Zhang, but the condition is that your side cannot return them." One Eye was puzzled by the director's excited state. He even made him sign an official contract stating clearly that if there were any unforeseen incidents, his hospital would bear no responsibility whatsoever. One Eye suspected the director was worried something would happen to the people on his side, so he opened his mouth to guarantee, "As long as the two of them don't fight demonic beasts alone, I guarantee nothing will happen to them." One Eye was misunderstanding the director's intention. He was afraid something would happen to One Eye's people, but didn't dare to say it directly. All right then. The two of them discussed the current urgent and tense situation of the city. Do you know the current situation of Duyan High landslides are frequent, demonic beasts are rampant, and the number of powerful experts is severely lacking. I need powerful experts to protect the people. If they really are powerful experts, I will also treat them very well. Hearing One Eye's heartfelt words made the old director feel guilty not having the heart to send them to his place to cause trouble. Demonic beasts evolve too quickly after their intelligence is enhanced. They know how to analyze human preferences, turn into pets, and hide among the crowd. If not for seeing it on camera, who would believe it? The old director sighed heavily, worried about the fate of humanity. Seeing his friend's heavy mood, One Eye spoke up to reassure him. I am the city guardian level expert of Duyan High City. My mission is to live or die with the city. No matter how strong the demonic beasts evolve, I will be there to stop them at the front lines. One person's strength is still limited after all. If we can cultivate more powerful experts, the city will be that much safer. After saying that, he walked straight towards our two gods. You two ate a level 2 demonic beast dog last night, right? A strange voice sounded in front of Linfan's group. One Eye appeared before the two of them. They asked how they ate it. How did you two kill it? Seeing a stranger investigating them, the two had a mutual understanding. They communicated through eye contact and quickly denied it. No, we didn't kill it. It died on its own. We don't know anything. One Eye was suspicious, but suddenly didn't raise his hand. A surprise attack was launched at Linfan. Linfan was confused by the yellow light emitting from the strange One Eye's hand. One Eye tested a move, thinking that Linfan lacked vigilance when facing an attack. Even if he has physical talent, he can only be cultivated into a third-rate expert. This was a mistaken judgment on his part. Lao Jiang suddenly approached Linfan. Lao Jiang whispered into Linfan's ear, thinking One Eye wanted to help him cultivate. So the two gods concluded he was a good person. The two of them kept whispering, which made One Eye unable to understand what they were saying. Linfan thought he's not suitable for me. The reason was that he disliked that One Eye was blind in one eye, which would be inconvenient when helping him cultivate. The words touched One Eye's sore spot. Lao Jiang said, It's okay, that's just a small problem. I can heal your eye for you, so you can help Linfan cultivate better. One Eye was very surprised to hear them call the suicidal behaviors recorded in the documents cultivation. If it weren't for their physical talent, those actions would have been enough to kill them 100 times over. Lao Jiang introduced, Linfan is very strong. He just needs to cultivate and level up now. After I help you heal your eye, we can help Linfan cultivate together. And Linfan nodded like he was chopping wood. Linfan told One Eye Lao Jiang knows acupuncture. His acupuncture skills are very formidable. He can heal your eye for you. You can give it a try. Lao Jiang excitedly circled One Eye and asked One Eye, do you want to try my eye? Even the top expert Longgu Chancheng wouldn't dare say he could heal my eye. Although they have physical talent being mentally ill, they really dare to say anything. Since you two have said so, then just let me try. He sat down thinking that with his cultivation level, he could punch through armor with his bare hands, so playing acupuncture with two mental patients would be no problem. He confidently shouted to Lao Jiang's group, go ahead and treat me. And he thought to himself, it's just a few tiny needles. It's over for you. You were so wrong, One Eye. A handful of needles were densely stuck in One Eye's head, surprising him. Why is there such a strange feeling? Lao Jiang then upgraded to galactic transportation technique, raising it to half-step cosmic transportation technique. One Eye was speechless at Lao Jiang's shouting and posturing. One Eye couldn't help but ask Lao Jiang, didn't you just randomly stick them in? How can it have a name like cosmic transportation technique? Lao Jiang waved his hand, flicking an acupuncture needle, and answered One Eye's question. This is the result of his many years of research guided by a proficient professor beside him. Finally, he researched the transportation technique. Lao Jiang added an advertisement. Everyone who has been injected said it's very good. Linfan spoke up to confirm that he was also the only one who had been injected. One Eye felt a slight numbness and so considered it somewhat magical. One Eye with his head full of needles. Looked like a Korean actor after injections, saying with a shocked look, although I was just playing with you two, so I didn't activate my golden bell shield, I didn't expect that just a few acupuncture needles could stir up my internal energy. Before One Eye could finish his sentence, Lao Jiang quickly stuck in the 13th needle. One Eye had an indescribable feeling something rushing into his brain. It's over. The guy who was just conscious suddenly collapsed. Quick-witted and sharp-eyed Linfan bent down to catch him, otherwise he would have face-planted. They were very surprised to see him, who was perfectly healthy, suddenly faint. Lao Jiang thought maybe the newly researched, half-step cosmic transportation technique has a problem. It's a good thing I let him try it first. One Eye is truly pitiful. Lao Zhang thought he had grasped a bit of the secret. The second try will definitely be better. Lao Zhang's expectant gaze asked Linfan if he wanted to try. Linfan accepted immediately without a second thought. I trust you. Lao Zhang was pondering something, and then he made friends with One Eye. Looking at his two fainted creations on the ground, Lao Zhang didn't understand what was wrong with his newly invented acupuncture technique. He looked around to see if there was anyone else he could experiment on again. When the old director found out all of them were unconscious, with acupuncture needles still stuck in their heads. It turned out Lao Zhang couldn't find anyone, so he had to use his own body to experiment. Praise for the eager-to-learn spirit. The old director wondered where Lao Zhang hid the acupuncture needles that no one could find them. He himself is a city guardian-level expert, but he was still played by those two until he was unconscious. With personnel like this looking at the scene before him made the old director worry for the city's safety. Scene changed to Huadian Hospital. The special phone line connected to Qingshan Mental Hospital rang, startling everyone. The familiar ring was so haunting that it terrified everyone in this hospital. For a long time, no one answered the phone. Huadian Hospital, right? The address is... Before the old director could finish, the person on this end already knew where to go and sent the ambulance. The old director said, "Send 2 cars, there are 3 injured people." The person on the other end angrily said briefly, "Got it," then hung up. The ambulance arrived very quickly. Putting the people on the stretcher was also very fast. The driving was so steady and skilled that it made people feel heartbroken. This man with his eyes bandaged is the ambulance driver. Discovering this startled the employee from Qingshan Hospital. The ambulance driver said he had just had eye surgery, but it was okay, he could drive this route. For no other reason than he drove it so often he could drive it with his eyes closed. Note, he's talking nonsense. This is dangerous driving, don't imitate it. Whoever drives like this as usual, remember to tell S the lottery numbers in a dream, hey hey. Watching the driver close the door made all 3 of them worried. Damn it, driving and swerving like this, the patients will probably go meet their ancestors for sure. He drives so steadily that I don't know if I should be heartbroken or not, or if I should exclaim cool. Recognizing the 2 familiar faces made the hospital's deputy director sigh. It's them again. They still haven't given up. Looking at the 2 Linfan lying in the ambulance bay, made the old man think, maybe I should just cause an accident and kill these 2 ancestors. He slapped himself in the face. The pain woke him up. As a doctor who saves people from death, how could I have such an interesting thought? He was frustrated and inwardly cursed. Damn it, they really know how to torture people. He gave himself another slap, but this time on the other side of his face. Angry, he called the director of Qingshan Mental Hospital back. Hey, brother, he was the way I knelt and begged you before, not proper enough. Is that why after just 2 short days you sent these 2 ancestors over to me? And there's even a buy one get one free promotion. The old director gently explained, I already said last time it's best to let them stay in the hospital longer to save us the trouble of torturing each other by sending them back and forth. Lao Li shouted sharply, Brother, are you even speaking human? Take a look at your own conscience. Both of them are in my hospital. Do I ever get a peaceful day over here? The old director spoke up to advise, My good junior brother, it has indeed been hard on everyone. I also know it's difficult for you, Lao Li said sharply. Do you know how many doctors the hospital had to struggle to find to replace them? Because of those 2, I beg you please spare our hospital. Hearing that, the old director admitted his fault. Calm down, junior brother. I just sent you a red envelope. Consider it money from me to treat you to a drink. Lao Li was suspicious. This stingy old man is actually generous enough to treat me to a drink like this. All right, I got it. This time let those 2 stay here for a few more days. The old director threatened, Don't refuse and don't feel wronged, or I'll report you for taking bribes. The proof is the red envelope that was sent. Just now, Lao Li was stunned by his old friend's scheme. Damn it, you shameless! Herein Lao Li's angry shout echoed throughout the hospital. While Linfan was unconscious in the emergency room, the system's voice sounded again. Congratulations, host, for completing a super-level self-training session. Can exchange for an S-rank defensive skill, increasing growth margin by 100%. Do you wish to exchange? Noticing the host had a problem, the system acknowledged and chose the most optimal option for the host, followed by a sigh from the system. The voices of the nurses gossiping about the patient in that room were very tragic. I heard that fainting at Qingshan Mental Hospital won't make you go crazy, right? Not yet. It's just that after coming here for a checkup, it was discovered that his sperm count is very low. A guy was being spoon-fed porridge. It turned out this guy was Li Ang, the new employee who fainted from fright when he discovered the dog skull. You're so good to me. They say on the internet that you won't meet a good girl on a blind date, but you are the best girl I've ever met. I've gained a little weight recently. It's good that you don't mind. But don't worry, in a few years I'll be thin again. It doesn't matter if you're thin or not. I like you even when you're chubby. I'm really grateful to Uncle Wang next door for introducing us. When we get back, I'll thank Uncle Wang for you. But I have some bad news to tell you. I had a checkup and found a problem. We won't be able to have children in the future. Can you accept that it's okay? I don't mind. In the future, we can adopt a child. Do you prefer a girl or a boy? I like girls. But I like boys. Then I'll listen to you. If you like boys, we'll adopt a boy. Suddenly, the doctor walked in and announced that there was nothing wrong with him. As long as he doesn't suffer any major shocks, he can be discharged in the afternoon. Just then, a nurse pushed the door open and announced that the patient who just had surgery had woken up. The kind doctor said to push him in. Linfan, lying on a hospital bed, was being pushed into the same room as Liang. It's over. You're done for. You were just told you're about to be discharged, but at this rate, you'll probably be lying here for another whole month. Ha ha. So pitiful for this young man. Discovering that Linfan was the one from room 666, he pointed at Linfan and screamed in terror. He's a cannibal. The state of panic and agitation shocked his brain, causing Liang's old illness to relapse, and he fainted. Director Wang also didn't understand what had shocked him. Welcome, host. The system instructs to advance one more step in Qigong cultivation. Cultivation method, Qigong cultivation method. Although powerful, it's difficult to cultivate, requiring an extremely harsh mental state. The focus is as still as water. The host broke through to the late human stage in just 2 days. The system's voice sounded while Linfan was unconscious. Sob, sob, sob. I don't want to be in the same room with them. The sound of crying woke Linfan up. Liang was crying miserably, hugging the doctor's leg and begging to change rooms. He didn't dare to stay with Linfan's group because they were so scary they even ate human flesh. Linfan's voice spoke up, telling the doctor, I'm hungry, I want to eat, which made Liang jump in fright. The two of them stared at each other intently. He fell off the bed in fear and fainted on the floor. The director was helpless, not understanding what shock he had suffered to keep fainting. One Eye had woken up after a long coma. He didn't understand how this could be possible. As a city guardian level expert, even being shot in the head with a gun couldn't hurt him. Yet he was put into a coma by the two Lao Zhang, who looked harmless with just acupuncture. He couldn't figure out the answer. Wasn't he the strongest expert in the city? How could he be needled by two mental patients to the point of hospitalization? Seeing One Eye wake up, the two ran over to ask about him. You're awake? Lao Zhang looked apologetic for not having healed his eye yet. If I could try one more time, I feel that this time it will be a success. One Eye agreed to be a guinea pig again. Try it one more time. Just as you said, One Eye's nod moved Lao Zhang. Lao Zhang thought he was a good person. Lao Zhang then said, I'm here. With Lao Zhang's confident face this time, I will definitely cure your eye. Oh, really? A few seconds later, a chaotic scene unfolded. One Eye's heart rate dropped rapidly. His head was full of needles, and he was unconscious, being rushed straight to the emergency room. The nurse shouted, Quickly call the director, prepare for an emergency. Next time you will definitely be able to heal him. One Eye woke up still looking suspicious. He couldn't believe Lao Chang's acupuncture could make him faint for a second time, and even dislocate his spine. Impossible. Before he was almost crushed to a pulp by a level 9 demonic beast, and he had never lost consciousness. Lao Zhang approached One Eye's hospital bed and said, Sorry, I haven't cured your eye yet. I don't know where the problem is, but I have a feeling that next time will definitely be a success. Lao Zhang sadly said, Maybe One Eye won't trust me, and let me try again. Before he could finish his sentence, One Eye had already decided to try again, hearing that Lao Zhang was overjoyed. He was extremely excited and turned to show off to Linfan. Linfan, he trusts me a lot. 3rd time's the charm. One Eye agreed because he wanted to confirm whether the symptoms on his body were caused by him being needled. How can the dignity of a powerful expert be trampled on by mental patients? Lao Zhang held a handful of needles and reassured him, "Rest assured, this time I will definitely cure you again." A few seconds later, the noisy, hurried sounds once again occurred outside the emergency room. "Move aside, quickly, move aside. The patient's heart rate is approaching 0. Quickly call the director to continue the resuscitation. Quickly call the nurses in." The hospital room collected all the needles. "So what's the view for you guys?" The admin is laughing so hard making this video, it's so tiring, haha. Seeing Lao Zhang disappointed and sad because of his failure, Linfan patted his shoulder and said, "Don't worry. I feel he's very strong. He can probably survive and come back." Lao Zhang, with tears and snot all over his face, turned to Linfan and asked, "Is that really true?" The nurse was about to go crazy, turning everything upside down but not finding any needles. One Eye had woken up, and his current state was indeed not good. When he heard the doctor say his left leg was temporarily paralyzed, and he needed to lie down and rest. Lao Zhang's group came to the bedside to ask how he felt. One Eye gritted his teeth in anger, knowing he had been paralyzed by a mental patient. Not believing what was happening, he thought this wasn't reality. This is definitely not reality. Lao Zhang saw the frustrated look on his face and asked Linfan, "Is he disappointed and doesn't trust me anymore?" Linfan affirmed, "No. I feel he'll be like me, always trusting in you." One Eye was annoyed to hear the two of them constantly chattering in his ear, which made him even more furious. His anger peaked, and he shouted, "Can you two please stay away from me?" The two gods complained that the soft drink tasted bad. Lao Zhang's group felt this wasn't Sprite and this wasn't Coke either. Lao Zhang said they don't have Coke and Sprite. "I want to go buy it myself." Linfan immediately said, "We don't have money." The two of them turned to look at One Eye and came up with an idea. Meanwhile, One Eye was contemplating the meaning of life after being needled into fainting several times by two mental patients. Lao Zhang suggested asking, "One Eye, do you want to buy a watch? It's a very famous Rolex. I'll sell it to you at a low price. And there's a promotion for one more acupuncture session." Linfan interjected, "Hearing that makes my heart flutter." "Your heart is fluttering too, right?" One Eye heard the noise, felt annoyed, and coldly told the two to get lost. When his sales pitch failed, Lao Zhang resorted to a sob story. "You don't know how much affection I have for this watch. Because you're a good person, I'm willing to sell it to you." Looking at the watch drawn on Lao Zhang's hand left One Eye speechless. "I don't need your watch." One Eye tried to entice them to reveal how they killed the demon dog and he would give them money. Hearing that, Lao Zhang's group turned to look at each other, conferring silently with their eyes. "It even knew how to wag its tail in circles for me to see." Linfan agreed. "I told it to climb the electric pole and roast itself. And it obeyed, just like what its parents said." Hearing Linfan's group tell the story, One Eye angrily said, "So you mean that demon dog willingly let you pet its fur, wagged its tail, and then committed suicide for you to eat?" Linfan nodded, confirming, "The demon dog is a good dog. It's obedient." Lao Zhang added, "And its meat is very fragrant, hey hey." Meanwhile, the demon dog's soul said, "Damn you two. Shameless demons." One Eye was angry, not believing their words and feeling his intelligence insulted. The demon dog's soul chimed in, very insulting to dogs. One Eye sighed, all right. I must be crazy to ask for normal information from mental patients like this." The two were surprised, thinking One Eye was mentally ill. The two reached out to One Eye. Lao Zhang spoke first, "I've already told you." Linfan chimed in, "You said you would give us money." One Eye took a bank card from his pocket, said, "Take it," and threw it at Linfan. "It has 500,000. The PIN is 66523865. The two held the bank card but didn't know what to do with it. One Eye kept rambling. "This is the card with the least money I have, but it's enough for you to spend." One Eye sighed again. "My parents died early, and I'm a single soldier living a life on the battlefield, not knowing when I'll live or die. Money is just a number to me, so you don't need to feel burdened." Linfan held the card in front of One Eye. "I don't think this is money." Both of them threw the card back at him. The two of them turned to leave, muttering, "He's playing dirty, not giving us money. He's so terrible and selfish, too." One Eye was so angry he coughed up blood and shouted, "Are you two mentally ill? Haha. Well, where did the two of them come from anyway? Hey hey, scene change again to outside the hospital. The level 2 demonic beast Xuanxue was looking from a distance towards the hospital where Linfan's group was. I heard that guy say those two humans have fused with the demon dog's power and are in this building. It discovered that besides the demon dog's energy aura, I can also sense the aura of a very high-level expert, not someone I can deal with. The cunning snake schemed. I can't just barge in. If I happen to encounter a high-level expert, it will be dangerous. I'll wait for the two Linfan to come out and attack them first. Suddenly there was a movement that startled the snake. It turned out it had discovered a stir-fried pickle session blending with nature. No pay no play, right? Heh. Anyone who has tried this public style in nature, give the admin some feedback, heh. Seeing the scene that everyone wants to see right in front of it made it hateful. If it weren't for the expert's aura, it would have transformed to its original form and eaten both of them alive. Little kids, close your eyes. They are just exercising together. After exercising, the man left first. Oh my. This young man must have ED. It's only been a few seconds. Or maybe the artist drew it quickly. Haha. The snake behind the girl who was counting money thought to itself, this is the fallen woman that guy talked about. Seeing the fresh prey right in front of it, the snake couldn't hold back. Just eating one person probably won't alert the expert inside, right? It lunged, opening its large mouth full of sharp teeth, intending to swallow the delicious natural prey whole. The snake then detected the smell of the demon dog, which made Xuanxi stop, shrink, and hide behind the girl. The girl, meanwhile, was complaining about earning too little today, completely unaware that she had just escaped death. The two of them saw the two gods approaching from a distance. The two looked around for a place to buy drinks and food, feeling very hungry, and saw a scantily clad girl waving at them. The two guys quickly walked over to ask, "Hello, may I ask where they sell Coke and Sprite and also a place to eat?" Seeing the two guys holding hands in front of her, she thought, they're gay. What a waste of my time. The two turned to look at each other, not understanding what she was saying. The two guys had to ask for the drink place again, adding the phrase, "We don't have money." The girl recognized the clothes they were wearing. The two young men's outfits were from Huadian Hospital with symbols printed on them. After seeing the clothes, she already felt suspicious. She froze when she discovered they were mental patients from Qingshan Hospital, which sent her into a stream of memories. She was frantically searching for her older sister. A girl in a patient's uniform was being assaulted. The young man mocked the girl in the patient's uniform for treating a doll as her child. She's really mentally ill. He then forcefully tore the doll into two pieces. Seeing this, the girl sobbed and pleaded, Hey, please don't hurt my son." She witnessed everything that happened to her sister, trembling all over. She heard a voice calling sister. Returning to the present, she tried to hold back her tears. She asked where Linfan's group's home was. Lao Zhang claimed Linfan was family, while Linfan said his mother had gone abroad. Lao Zhang is also my family, and so is the director. She thought they were abandoned and so considered their roommates as family. Feeling pity, she offered them money for a meal and pointed them towards a fast food restaurant ahead. She also reminded them, "Give the money to the staff, and they will give you food. Coke and Sprite are also available." Both of them shook their heads. "We don't need your money. We'll find food ourselves." They even criticized, "How come you earn money more easily than us two? Take it. You can't eat without money." At this moment, Xuanxue seized the opportunity and quickly lunged at Linfan's back. Before it could rejoice over its sneak attack, it was quickly caught by Linfan with one hand. It was bewildered, not understanding what was happening. Its lightning-fast attack speed had been caught by someone else. These two guys thought the snake looked so long and cute. Hearing them call it cute, the snake's face turned red, still unaware that death was these two gods preparing to put it in a pot. When humans saw it, they were scared. Everyone chased it away and ran as if they had seen a ghost. Those people are so stupid they can't see its cuteness. It then recalled the past those few researchers. That human said that as long as we transform into a small form, humans will love to help us cover our tracks. It went to a soccer field and saw a teenager playing soccer. It thought its small form now would surely be liked by that teenager. It then slithered close to the teenager's feet. The teenager was startled, turned to look, and screamed in terror, "Ah, a snake." There's a snake, which also surprised the snake. No less, it was then ganged up on and stoned. After that, the whole group ran away, leaving our snake alone in the middle of the soccer field. It again thought humans are so stupid they completely fail to see my cuteness. It screamed, "You all deserve to die," returning to the present. It thought these two humans were different from that other group. "They called me cute. I feel like I've met the right people." It gently and intimately coiled around Linfan's hand and made a cute face. Before Xuanxi could show its cute side to Linfan, the system spoke up again. Scan detected a powerful energy creature that can help the host suppress hunger for 3 days. Target distance 0 meters right in front. Note: can store energy and accumulate it. Resistance time level 2 energy value. Basic attribute extremely poisonous. Recommended eating method after removing the head soak in wine and stew with spices. Sprinkle with chopped onions or cook green bean porridge. The neighbor's child will cry with craving. Xuanxi was still immersed in happiness, thinking these two were not like that stupid group of people, the only humans who could see its cuteness. "I feel so happy." Linfan asked the girl, "Can you do me a favor?" Xuanxi, unaware of what was about to happen to it, was still happily playing with Lao Zhang. The neighbor boy curiously asked his mother about the delicious smell coming from the neighbor's house next door. The fragrant smell of food filled the room, making the two gluttons constantly urge, "It smells so good. Is it cooked yet?" The girl replied, "It's almost done." Xuanxi's meat was used to make green bean porridge. This is what's left of the level 2 demonic beast Xuanxi. A few minutes earlier, Xuanxi was held firmly on the cutting board by Linfan. Xuanxi could only curse, "Damn it, you called me cute, so why do you want to eat me?" What the heck, Linfan didn't know what it was thinking. He raised the knife high and chopped down hard, wanting to sever Xuanxi's head. Crack. The knife cracked and broke, surprising Linfan. Xuanxi laughed loudly. "Ha, this is hilarious, I'm dying. You insidious, rotten humans. How can a normal knife hurt me?" Linfan threw the knife aside and grabbed Xuanxi's neck with both hands. This made it scornful. "You couldn't do anything with a knife, and now you want to kill me with your bare hands. How ridiculous, this lord." Before it could finish its sentence, Linfan suddenly just pulled. Gently, Xuanxi was split into two. Back to reality, the pot of porridge is done. The girl's voice sounded as the steaming pot of snake porridge was brought out. The two guys were drooling, praising how fragrant it was. She was very confident in her cooking skills. She said her daughter loves to eat her cooking. The two guys were craving it to death. They couldn't hold back anymore and invited her to eat with them. She declined their invitation because as a woman, she hated long, slimy things. So the two said, "Then we'll eat." The two ate as if they had been starved for a month. Watching the two of them eat, she smiled and silently thanked them for inviting her. 30 minutes later, the two were full, and the lady even packed some snake porridge for them to take home. The two guys said goodbye and thanked her for helping cook the snake soup and even giving them a container to take it home. She smiled and said, "All right, don't be so formal. You two should hurry back to the hospital." The two guys praised her for cooking delicious snake soup. "Your daughter is so lucky." The girl was surprised to see two mental patients say such complimentary words. She quickly hid a falling tear and forced a slightly sad smile. The two were skipping on their way back when they met a team of 4. Linfan also paid some attention to them. Suddenly, a young man who was noticed was startled and turned to look at our two death gods, and he felt a slight shiver as if meeting a terrifyingly powerful expert. He then thought it was just an illusion. One person in the group had climbed an electric pole to check the situation below. Another person called One Eye to report that the demonic beast's energy had disappeared. It might have run away or been killed. One Eye didn't believe the news and asked the staff again, "Do you guys think that's possible?" No team at the headquarters has reported back. "Do you guys mean that demonic beast was killed by a normal person? You guys use your brains a little, will you?" Just as he finished speaking, our Linfan pushed the door and walked in. One Eye was still on the phone. Although the energy value is unstable, it's definitely the level 2 demonic beast, Xuanxi. Search for it thoroughly. We must ensure everyone's safety. Around the hospital, the two guys returned with a bag of delicious food for One Eye. Seeing the bag of food in front of him caught his attention. When Linfan opened the lid, a fragrant aroma wafted out. As the strongest expert in the city, he recognized what was being cooked inside. He couldn't help but curse. The group of bewildered staff didn't understand why their boss was cursing at them. One Eye put the leftover bone of Xuanxi into a box. One Eye stared blankly at the box. One Eye decided not to eat with a mess of thoughts in his head. To avoid waste, our two gods decided to eat it all since they had kindly brought it back for him to eat, but he wouldn't. One Eye wanted to clear up all his doubts and asked the two gods, "How did you kill them? Are you the ones eating this snake?" Just as he asked, he thought to himself, "Destiny. A level 2 extremely poisonous demonic beast with limitless lightning-fast speed is now in their bowl in the blink of an eye." "What the heck?" Lao Zhang said. "The snake was very cute. It even acted friendly towards me." Linfan continued. "It came to my arm on its own and let us eat it." Both of them felt it was a very cute snake, so it must be extremely delicious. Thanks to the two death gods, the demon dog was now patting and comforting its new roommate. Our snake was still angry, cursing, "Damn those two deceitful gods, and they called me cute." Hearing them talk, One Eye's face turned red and blue with veins popping. He angrily declared, "If I believe you, I'll jump from this floor's window." Lao Zhang looked at him so agitated. "I hope he gets well soon." Linfan then said, "You're mentally ill and easily agitated." One Eye was completely out of words. Night had fallen. In his hospital room, One Eye couldn't sleep and lay there thinking. Two mental patients with physical talent but who look very weak have successively killed two level 2 demonic beasts without getting injured at all. How on earth did they do it? Could it be they've been hiding their true strength all along? Suddenly there was a strange sound. What are they doing getting out of bed in the middle of the night? One Eye felt the two were quickly walking towards him. He didn't know what these two were up to. It was so surreal. One was wearing dress shoes, the other was wearing bunny slippers, haha. Lao Zhang said One Eye is a good person. I want to use my upgraded acupuncture technique with all my might to save him. Linfan always trusted Lao Zhang. Hearing that One Eye thought, as expected, they are hiding their true strength, since they went on to kill and eat two level 2 demonic beasts. How could they not have real skills? I've decided to trust them one more time to see what your true strength is. Lao Zhang saw the light was a bit dim. I can't see the acupuncture points clearly. Linfan had faith in Lao Zhang's talent. You've studied acupuncture for so many years, needling in the dark is just a small matter. Hearing Linfan, Lao Zhang thought he was right and decided to perform the splattering blood technique, haha. The admin also sees that with this technique, every poke draws blood, haha. One Eye felt it was really coming. This time the feeling was even more intense than before. As an expert, he couldn't bear the ongoing pain. Lao Zhang fumbled for the final needle placement. It's probably here, not wrong. As the 13th needle was being inserted, a nurse's voice suddenly rang out. "What are you people doing?" Surprised by the appearance of someone at the door, Lao Zhang made a mistake and inserted the needle in the wrong place. "It's over for you, even a fake expert would be done for." The nurse was horrified to see what the two of them were doing to another patient. One Eye felt like he was about to die. Although he really didn't want to, he managed to raise his hand and cry for help. His hand quickly fell limp onto the bed. Could it be that he had ascended? The nurse saw the scene in front of her and screamed in terror, "Ah, murder!" What did the two mental patients do to the other patient? The familiar chaotic and noisy scene outside the emergency room happened again. The patient is bleeding uncontrollably, starting to get seriously injured, preparing for immediate surgery. Lao Zhang confessed to Linfan, "I inserted the last needle in the wrong place." Linfan said it's okay, there's still a chance as long as he survives. Back to the two gods, they were lying on the bed, their bodies tightly bound like two logs of sticky rice cake. One Eye's bed had been taken away, leaving only a pool of blood in the operating room. One Eye's hair was quickly shaved off. The doctors were holding a consultation. Another doctor reported that the sterilization was complete and the damaged brain area had been identified. Preparing to move him to the operating table, One Eye suddenly opened his eyes and looked up, startling the doctor. Everyone looked at each other, not knowing what to say, silent for a few seconds. The doctor breathed a sigh of relief. Luckily, he woke up before the surgery. If he opened his eyes like this during the operation, we'd be doomed. The nurse confirmed that the anesthetic had been administered, but the patient had woken up before the surgery. The monitoring indicators on the equipment had also returned to normal. The surgery had to be temporarily stopped, and the patient was taken back to his room for another checkup. The doctor asked One Eye, "Do you want to stay in the hospital room? Although you are all mental patients, your condition is milder." I'm afraid those two troublemakers will continue to harm you. A nurse suggested he change to a different, separate hospital room from those two gods of plague. One Eye looked unhappy at being mistaken for a mental patient. One Eye's bloodshot gaze at him made the doctor feel he needed to be careful when dealing with this new mental patient. Looking at the X-ray showed One Eye's leg and life. Everything was normal, which made the doctor think he had taken the wrong person's X-ray. So he's not in a cast. The doctor turned to look and One Eye had disappeared. Where's the patient? This is One Eye's new hairstyle. I, as the leader of the special forces, the strongest expert in Duyanhai City, have suffered at the hands of Lao Zhang not just 3 times. He would never trust Lao Zhang again, and would remember all the things Lao Zhang had done to him. I will never forget, One Eye resentfully screamed in his heart. Even if I forget when my hair grows back, it will remember for me. Linfan said, you're alive again. You're really strong. I'm sure that next time Lao Zhang will cure you, you can look forward to it a little. One Eye's icy gaze turned to him, confusing Linfan. Consider yourselves skilled. Goodbye. He opened the window, preparing to fulfill his earlier promise. He turned back to say goodbye, hoping never to meet these two gods of plague again. A nurse passing by discovered someone jumping from the building and immediately opened her mouth to scream. That bald guy who just had emergency treatment is jumping from the building to commit suicide again. Everyone around was bewildered to see One Eye falling from the sky and landing gently on the ground. He made a phone call to inform the old director. Although they may be people with innate physical talent and special attack methods, they have communication barriers and cannot be cultivated. Hearing the news from One Eye made him clutch his head. You gave me hope of escaping these two destructive gods of plague, and then you push me into despair. How could you do this to me, One Eye? Please reconsider. I've only had a few days of peace, one thing after another. Lao Li called to report. Why did it take so long to answer? Of the 3 mental patients you sent over, one jumped from the building. The old director was startled. What good news? Oh no. Has death been confirmed? Lao Li was taken aback. The person is fine, he just ran away and disappeared. The old director, as expected, thought Lao Li's side didn't need to take responsibility for what happened. Hearing that, Lao Li angrily shouted, of course we don't need to take responsibility for the patient. What hasn't your mental patient done? I'm calling because he ran away without paying for his medicine and hospitalization fees. Lao Li shouted loudly into the phone. The old director played dumb. I don't know you. You've called the wrong number, and hung up. Lao Li was so angry he crushed his phone with his hand and cursed loudly. Damn it, he ran, you son of a bitch! The sound of ambulance sirens blared throughout the streets. Lao Zhang sadly said One Eye is still alive, but he left. Linfan said he jumped out the window. Lao Zhang then asked about the result, and Linfan replied, no. But next time his eye can definitely grow back. Lao Zhang, with tears and snot all over his face, cried, I've disappointed him. That's why he didn't say goodbye to us when he left. Linfan quickly comforted him. While we were both tied up on the bed, he said goodbye while you were sleeping. Lao Zhang sighed. He said goodbye. Maybe he had something to do. Next time, will he still trust me to give him acupuncture? Linfan comforted him again. He will trust you. Seeing an apple, Lao Zhang told Linfan, I want to eat an apple. Linfan said, let me get it for you. Linfan just lightly moved his hand, and the ropes binding him broke. He reached for an apple and gave it to Lao Zhang. Lao Zhang was like a worm, opening his mouth and eating greedily as if he had been starved for days. Lao Zhang said, it's really delicious and crunchy. Linfan, you eat too. After taking a bite, Linfan also realized the apple was indeed very sweet, crunchy, and delicious. The driver saw the deputy director personally bringing the 2 gods of plague back again. He concluded that the director was a dedicated and diligent person, haha. But he didn't expect that it was because Lao Li couldn't stand these 2 gods. Lao Li said, I only feel at ease bringing them back myself, and it's easier to collect the debt too. Lao Li suddenly slammed on the emergency brake. The ambulance swerved and its wheels stopped. Scene changed to the first pier of Duyanhai City. A bald young man was fighting an octopus. This octopus was a level 4 creature. It was chasing a special forces team of 4. It was the same group that had previously reported to One Eye about the level 2 Xuanshe. The long-haired young man with glasses threw a card and shouted, Fire, thunder, curse, fall. The other short-haired young man swung his sword and shouted, Wisdom, sword, perceive. But the two moves weren't even enough to scratch the level 4 demonic beast. The octopus then released a black fog around its tentacles. The long-haired guy with glasses realized something. The short-haired guy immediately said netherworld fog, a high-level hunting skill. One of them realized this demonic beast wasn't level 4, at least level 5. The only girl in the group immediately turned and ran. The netherworld fog is extremely poisonous. Touching it means death. We're no match for it. Quickly call for backup. While all four were trying their best to escape, the short-haired guy looked back and thought to himself, "This is bad. The fog is too thick, and its speed is too fast. We're about to die here." Then someone's voice rang out Golden Bell Shield. The short-haired guy was immediately protected by a stranger's technique, creating a protective circle that separated him from the fog the octopus was releasing. The stranger shouted loudly, "My mood right now is very bad." It turned out to be One Eye brothers. The octopus was also surprised by the appearance of a city guardian-level expert. The group of four, however, was overjoyed to be saved by their boss. The shiny One Eye said to the level 4 demonic beast, "I hope you can be patient for a bit so I can vent my anger. Don't die too quickly, okay?" One Eye's subordinates were full of questions. Why did the boss change his hairstyle? A cold One Eye launched a Buddha Dragon World annihilating palm strike. This technique had a swastika shape spinning in the palm of One Eye's hand. After a shout of "Go" from One Eye, the demonic beast had a hole pierced through it from its head down. So it died quickly and cleanly. The scene switched back to our familiar ambulance. The sound of cars honking loudly on the bridge. Lao Li asked, "What happened?" "There's a traffic jam on the overpass, too." The driver said something was running ahead, causing a traffic jam on the overpass, too. Lao Li heard shouts from outside. "Run, quickly. There's a demonic beast ahead." The crowd fled in terror in the opposite direction. Lao Li turned back and told the driver I heard them shouting. Before he could finish, a body flew from a distance and shattered the front windshield, making both of them turn pale. "It's over, my friend." On One Eye's side, after a while of venting his anger, the giant octopus was thrown to the side by One Eye. One Eye sensed there was still an energy wave from another demonic beast. The four were startled and scared, turning to look for One Eye. A young man ran over in a panic. "Boss, it's not good." He held up a tablet for One Eye to see. "We missed a demonic beast. It's running towards the city area." Then the map showed the demonic beast was on the Long Bien Bridge, or the Vin Tui Bridge. Brothers, anyone in Hanoi guess which section this is? Hehe. On the bridge, everyone was in a panic. Linfan, lying in the car, finished his apple and said, "I feel hungry again." Lao Chang then said, "There were only 2 apples here, and we've eaten them all." Linfan sat up and said, "But I'm hungry." The psycho in his head said something about the late human stage breakthrough requiring a lot of energy. I heard it but didn't understand anything yet. I felt even hungrier. When called a psycho, the system angrily said, "You're the psycho. Do you have any manners?" The scene on the bridge was still chaotic. The baby octopus was looking for its father. But it didn't know its father had been taken down by One Eye a while ago. Lao Li, while urgently giving first aid to another victim, called out to the driver, "Quick, there's hemostatic cotton in the car, 2 more packs, hurry up." The driver, scared to death, stammered, Deputy Director, you run quickly. The demonic beast is almost here." Suddenly a watch was thrown into the driver's hands. Lao Li told the driver, "Bring the supplies over, then you run ahead. Help me take care of this digital watch." The driver held the watch, feeling suspicious about something, but he quickly regained his composure and shouted, "Vice Director, he's severely injured. If you don't run, you'll die with him when the demon beast arrives." Lao Li calmly said, "I gave you the digital watch. Do you know its origin?" On my first day as a chief surgeon, it was a gift from a child I saved on the operating table. Since then, I've sworn never to give up and certainly never to abandon my patients. The driver hesitated and said, "But Vice Director, there are still 2 tied-up patients in the vehicle. If we take them with us, aren't we also saving people?" Veins popped on Lao Li's forehead. "Those 2 don't count." The driver was confused. Lao Li added, "If it's convenient, use them to block the demon beast for as long as you can. This is just in the story, okay? A real doctor would never do that. Don't believe this silly author." The driver immediately opened the back door of the vehicle and shouted, "There's a demon beast ahead. I'll untie you 2 so you can run quickly." The 2 looked at each other, their minds in sync again. Linfan with one chop severed the ropes on Lao Zhang. The driver couldn't believe his eyes. "You guys got untied faster than I could do it." He said, "Quick run in the opposite direction of the demon beast." Lao Zhang was happy to be free and had a very important question for the driver. He asked, "What is that demon beast? Is it cute?" Damn, at a time like this, only 2 lunatics would ask such a question. But the admin is used to their talk, he. The driver's face turned pale. He said, "I guess it is." An image of a very cute pink demon beast appeared in his mind. Linfan immediately pulled his hand away from the driver's and spoke. "In that case, we're not going anymore," leaving the driver wide-eyed. Lao Zhang cheerfully chimed in, "We have to go find that demon beast to play with." The driver was so scared he trembled all over and shouted, "Are you two insane, damn it? Is their brain slow to react or something? They're clearly mentally ill, yet they keep asking such surreal questions." The pink octopus, a level 3 demon beast, was still struggling to find its father. This one is precisely level 3 because its father was only level 4. "I'm full now, I want to go home." "Daddy, where are you? Its daddy couldn't come. But these daddies are about to arrive, hey. Lao Li was still giving first aid to another victim, calling for the driver to bring out the hemostatic cotton. 2 more packs aren't enough. When Lao Li looked back, the driver's figure had vanished at some point. The young man being treated by Lao Li looked up and said, "Thank you, sir." The demon beast had approached Lao Li. The man fighting through the pain said, "Run quickly, don't worry about me anymore." Lao Li, his head covered in sweat, didn't know what to do now. The pink octopus discovered there were 2 humans here. Lao Li whispered to himself, "Am I going to die in this place?" Just as the octopus asked, "Have you seen my daddy anywhere?" The octopus threatened, "If you haven't seen him, I'll smash you to death." The young man thanked the doctor for staying by his side. At that very moment, the octopus raised its tentacle, preparing to smash down on Lao Li. The 2 could only close their eyes and brace for impact. But luckily it stopped. It didn't stop on its own. Our Linfan had grabbed one of its tentacles. Our Linfan quickly dragged it under the bridge. Lao Li still didn't dare to open his eyes, trembling like a leaf.